Please take your seat. The show is about to begin.
Presented by Front Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon. Joined as always by my wildly handsome co-host, John Luke Garofalo. Our friend Coop with us, aka Coop A. Fiasco. Hey, oi, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome into the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. It is January 16th, 2023. We are in the midst of the Wildcard round. One game left, baby. I'm Simon Grunewald, your host, joined, as always, by my co-hosts, John Luke Garofalo and Andrew Cooper, for a very special episode today. Today, guys, we have reached a milestone, our 100th episode of the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. So thank you to you guys. Thank you to everyone in the chat who's hung out with us for 100 freaking episodes. We made it, boys. How you feeling this morning?
Fantastic.
Episode 100, dude. And I saw we had the throwback intro. Don't say Hungy. Yeah, no Hungy.
No, you totally say Hungy. Say Hungy more.
So, a couple more Hungies. Did you, with the throwback intro, I like that, dude. Although the one Tommy made, it's kind of awesome, too.
Yeah, if only he had spelled my name correctly,
it's a bit great. Slurpy. Yeah, if you could spell your name correctly, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm not sure if you guys saw my timeline this weekend on Twitter. As most weekends, I had a lot of very important, life-changing tweets, but one of them could change my life possibly forever.
And
did you see the cupcake tweet that I tweeted yesterday around?
I did not. I missed your cupcake tweet yesterday.
Dude, my wife's little cousin showed me something that blew my mind hole. She took a cupcake and ripped the bottom of it off and put it on top of the cupcake and turned it into some sort of like cupcake Oreo cookie, like an Oreo made of cake. Have you guys seen this maneuver before?
I have seen this maneuver before.
Dude, legendary move. I had like 4 cupcakes after that. I couldn't stop. Like, my life has been changed forever. I'm probably going to denote things now as BC before cupcake and AD after
the cupcake
demonstration.
After the cupcake.
After the cupcake. I mean, like, ridiculous, this cupcake move. How have I never seen this? How have you? Who showed you that, Simon?
I can't remember the origin of it, where I saw it, which is, honestly shocking at this point. Maybe I went into shock the moment that I saw it, but I have seen that move before. And I'm pretty sure it was a child. It was probably when I worked at summer camp that a kid just ripped the bottom off of that cupcake and threw it on top like a monster. And then you're like, wait, no, that's genius.
Right. When I first saw it, I
icing directly into your mouth. That's the worst part of a cupcake, biting into the icing.
That's what I'm saying. How to approach it. I never know how to approach it with the first bite. I thought, like you said, like a monster. I thought she was doing normal kid stuff, just ruining it. I looked over and I was like, look at this idiot. She ruined her cupcake almost immediately. And
you unexpected genius.
As I would take a bite of mine, I saw what she was doing and I was like, shut it down. Shut it down.
Shut it down. Guys, we got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Joey in here saying, Hundo, baby.
Hey,
we made it. And Craig says, happy 100th FYF Morning Show. Welcome in, Craig. Thanks for hanging out with us. Jay in here said, Hundo, let's go. And said, I thought we'd get canceled around 16, maybe 19. Still around, baby. Maybe 116.
19
maybe
is usually our limit. Usually we say something so stupid by the 19th show that we should get canceled, but we didn't.
You said a non-existent word within the first 45 seconds of the show.
I'm surprised they were like, all right, wrap it up here.
Oh no, I imagine they did. I imagine Matt and
conversations were had.
Oh, what have we done?
Did he just like I just said surplant without even skipping a beat.
Not a word.
Did these guys know anything?
Oh no, dude.
And we got Tommy in here saying you were not surplanted. We were not. We may say surplant, but no one can surplant us yet. At least not through 100 shows. We also got Tommy in here with a wild card rhyme for us, saying what a wild weekend. What a great show. Purdy looked solid. So did Bengal. Joe So did Bengal Joe. Trevor beat Justin. Danny beat Kirk. The Eagles rested, and so did the Jerk. Skylar put up a good fight with the Finns, but the Bills prevailed, and Josh was all grins. We got one more game, sure to be out of sight. Will it be Brady or Dak in this epic fight? But enough of my rhymes. Hey, don't you know? It's JL, Coop, and Simon in their 100th show. Beautiful, Tommy.
Amazing.
100 shows, 100 rhymes. And we got
I got something here for you, Tommy. This
Oh boy.
disgusting tomato that I've been
This is disgusting. You gonna leave the tag on?
that I've been stalling. Yeah, there is a tag on that. That's not cool. No longer a tag on here. Now it is edible officially. So I will eat this at the end of BYOB. Let people trickle in if they would like. This is a sad day for me and everyone else. This is quite a bit different than eating a cupcake Oreo sandwich. So
You could try the same strategy with that, where you cut the bottom off and then just smush it on top with the juices flowing all over your hands, and then bite into it.
Dude, the hair.
You said you liked it.
The hair on my arm is standing up straight now. So
Juice everywhere.
yeah, what are we
Maybe
setting the
juiced up for
number?
that.
What are we setting the number at? 2 minutes for Lucra bets here.
I'll say 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes is a good line.
Okay.
You think you can down that tomato in 3 minutes, Jail? It's a pretty
3
long
minutes?
time, but he hates tomatoes.
Simon's setting the line. You're setting the over under.
Oh, that is a pretty good line.
Yeah.
I'll take the 3 minutes. How long is 3 minutes?
It's
What can I do in
180
3
seconds.
minutes? That's a lot of tomato to eat.
3 minutes is what's something that's 3 minutes long? 3 minutes.
I'm just trying to think, is he going to be able to even like get through this while laughing in
Yeah.
3 minutes? That could be
Are we-
long.
are we
I'll
doing-
take the
are we-
over.
Are we moving on with our lives in the show? Like,
I'll
are we
take
gonna
the
talk,
under.
Are we going to talk about other stuff, or am I just going to sit here and eat this?
I think that's it.
If I'm just going to quietly eat this, then it's probably got to be under.
We'll see.
We're going to
We'll
be
see how long
laughing.
it takes.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Simon and I to get through all of our laughter while you
We
just
should make a rule.
shower
no,
in tomato juices.
we should make a rule: no laughter. No one's allowed to.
That is always a good rule. It always does well. Anytime you can make
always-
a rule no laughter, you should make it just because.
There's complete dead silence while I eat this thing. Dude, honestly, it could be good. It could be. I'm looking at it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this isn't going to be so bad.
So we got Joey in here saying West Coast, not Best Coast. FYF Morning Show starts at 4 a.m. Well, then go back to sleep.
Yeah,
Awake
dude.
at 4 a.m. That's
The good thing is you can become a member of Better Sports. Download the app, become a member. You can watch all the shows after, or on the FYF YouTube channel, you go in and watch all the past shows. You go in, find out why I'm eating this tomato. We'll tell you in a little bit, obviously, but it's all on there. And if you don't have time to watch a full 3-hour shows, which you should because they're great, you can go in and watch some of the shorts, which is some of the best of and worst of the show. Like
And
Simon
medium up.
and Jail
medium up.
being mean to me because I actually said blackjack instead of Jack Black. Almost did it again.
I almost did it again.
God damn it.
God. And Joey, and you're saying, but if I watch on demand, I can't make the silly jokes. On demand is great, but 100%, if you want to be part of the chat, you got to be here live. And that's so much fun being here live, hanging out.
Oh, yeah. Joey's in Las Vegas, right? You're doing
He's in Vegas, baby. Up early with us. Guys, it is that time of morning. I hope you brought something to eat. I know Coop did, but everyone else, hope you brought some nice, juicy breakfast because we got everything else for you. We got the stories. We got the topics. You guys just have to bring your own breakfast. John Luke, you bring anything tasty for me today?
I brought a bag of plain pretzels here. Tiny twists. Rolls of gold, tiny twists. But the bag is way too crinkly to show you guys. So I'm just going to show you my juice cup instead.
You're eating pretzels for breakfast? You're sick.
Pretzels for breakfast?
Pretzels for breakfast?
That sounds like a new cereal slogan.
It does.
Silly Keith.
Pretzelos.
Silly
Salty
Keith.
and sweet.
Silly Keith. Breakfast pretzels are for kids.
Extreme pretzel crunch.
Dude, that sounds like it would destroy your mouth first thing in the morning.
Like pretzels aren't crunchy enough already. You got to make it extreme pretzel crunch.
Extreme mouth destroying pretzel crunch.
I was working with Keith yesterday for a bit on this 100th episode. And on 2 separate occasions, he called me the wrong name. Called me Simon and Coop yesterday. So
Keith just
that's where
doesn't
Keith
know
is
who
at
we
this
even
morning.
are. What?
Yeah, no clue.
Like, Keith has just been blind this whole time.
What if in his perception, like his genuine perception, the three of us are actually like one being? Know what I mean? Like we are one being in his mind, not 3 separate beings. And so the names are truly fully interchangeable. And if he tells one of us one thing, all of us clearly know that thing, and we are one 3-headed being.
So if that's the
We're a
case,
3-headed bean?
if that's the case,
Like
then
rice and beans?
Like bean, yeah.
So am I the rice or the beans?
We're all beans.
We're all beans.
So if that means
we're beans.
if JL eats a tomato today, then I'm off the hook.
No, only in Keith's perception. So if Keith's running the show, then yeah. Which
but in his perception, the Jets are the Super Bowl champs, so can't really trust it.
Which of their quarterbacks would be the quarterback of that perceived
Zach
team?
Wilson.
It's like they're
Keith loves him.
Have you guys seen the new Pokemon Mousehold? He's a new Pokemon this generation, and it's 2 mice that evolves into 4 mice, but they say they share one consciousness. Like if you read the Pokédex description, so it's a single entity divided into 2 beings that evolves into 4 beings that have one shared consciousness.
So do you refer to it as it or them? I'm looking at them right now. They're pretty cute.
Or Keith.
No question about that.
I think you just call him Keith, all of them.
Keith, just every one of them.
Keith.
Everybody's Keith.
They look sweet.
There's my Pokemon update of the day. But there was some football that went down this weekend.
There was.
A couple things.
Before we get into football, did you see this? Did you already hear this comment? Maria said, I want to keep hitting the fun button, but how perfect. It's 100 for the 100th show. Trying to keep it perfect.
Leave it.
I also saw Jolly Rancher in here. Good morning, Mom.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey.
Mama Grunewald.
All right. Did the fun button already go over 100 out there, folks, or are you guys respecting it?
Let us know. We need to know.
I can't see it. I'm not looking at it. When I turn the app on, it messes up my volume here. Oh, it's over. All right. Since it's over, smash it all the way to 1,000. That's the only way that we can even this out. Smush that fun button.
Let's do it.
So, JL, you had some news for us?
I think we lost him. I'll jump in here with something. Coop, I saw a quote from J.K. Dobbins yesterday after their loss last night. Said J.K. Dobbins said he's tired of not getting the ball, tired of being held back. Said Huntley should have never been in that position on sneak. And then he added, if we would have had Lamar, we would have won 2.
Wow. That whole quote all the way up sounds like something that's hot until the very end when he just destroys Tyler Huntley. Absolutely unnecessary to throw that part at the end, I feel.
Yeah, I don't think the intention was to say F you, Tyler Huntley, or it's all your fault. I think it was a dude speaking out in anger and frustration that he's not getting the ball, which he's right. He looked awesome last night. Should have been handed the ball more. And then at the end, I think like they were in that game. They could have won that game. And those are the words that came out. I'm sure like it wasn't a shot at Tyler Huntley, but that's how it came across. It ended up being one.
Dude, he basically said, if you give me the ball, we would have won. Instead, you gave it to Tyler and we lost. Also, if we had Lamar, we would have won.
He said, I would have won the game. Lamar would have won the game. You gave the ball to the only guy who wouldn't have won the game.
This guy didn't win the game. He actually gave it to the other team and they ran 100 yards the other way. That is, I don't know. J.K. Dobbins is starting to be one of those guys where he should probably just every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to always say something explosive. Like, you definitely don't have to comment on your injuries before the season, saying that you're ready when you're not, things like that. Like, it just sometimes it makes more sense to say nothing, right? It's easier to live that way, and you don't have to say something.
I hear you. I also fully understand his frustration. He had 13 carries last night with their backup quarterback in a close game where he was the best player on the field for them. They're only going to give him the ball 13 times, no carries inside the 5-yard line. Like they're just going to they get down in the red zone. And then what is Greg Roman doing? Just takes J.K. Dobbins out of the game, gives it to Tyler Huntley, gives it to Justice Hill. Like I would have been freaking frustrated if I was him too.
Yeah, a lot of touches for Justice Hill, kind of odd. But this is also one of the weirder teams, really. I don't know. Gus, I mean, and they like Gus Edwards. They paid him, so I don't know. We're gonna talk about these individual games. So we'll get into
We'll dig more into that.
nitty-gritty. Yeah.
I am I'm curious your opinion on if Greg Roman you think is going to be back with the Ravens next year. It seems like there's some real frustration growing, and I'm hearing the rumor mill start swirling that we're going to see no more Greg Roman at the beginning of the next season.
Yeah, I haven't been a fan of Greg Roman going. This goes all the way back to when he was with the 49ers. So back then, Frank Gore, people forget, was a two-way back for most of his career, right? Over the beginning stages of his career, he averaged 52 targets a game. And then they made Greg Roman the offensive coordinator. Over that 4-game span, he averaged 17 targets a game. Go back and just pull up the Greg Roman stats, career stats, noticeable change in his targets when Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator there. And that honestly bothered me. Like, not just from fantasy football, where they took a guy who was a high-end RB1 and turned him to a middling, plotter, but the team was built to win. And I think that was a big part of taking that dynamicness away from that player. And then you look at these teams since then, and it's, including that 49er stretch, he's only had one season where he finished outside the bottom four in pass attempts. Like, this guy sucks, man. I'm just tired of his old school, triple option wishbone offense. That's all tight ends and fullbacks. Like, it's time to modernize this team. And I think it probably means Greg Roman's gone, and he's probably gonna end up somewhere else, but he should probably just be like the run game coordinator for a team. If all he cares about is running the football.
Maybe he ends up in Denver with the other Harbaugh whenever he's hired there.
Great. Perfect. Yeah.
Load
him up, dude.
We'll just throw Jim over there, and John will say, "Oh, I got a present for you. You can have a fresh offensive coordinator. Just made it to the playoffs, barely used. Greg Roman's all yours."
There you go, dude. Those dudes can just chug milk and run the ball up the middle all game long and just be super weird. That'd be great. Jail, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, Jail's back. What's up?
I'm back. What up, boys?
Just talking a little Greg Roman being fired.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. I definitely could see it. That game yesterday was brutal to watch as a Ravens fan.
Yeah. Speaking of Greg Roman being potentially let go, do you guys think Brandon Staley deserves to be let go after how things been down?
I just don't see how he's not. Whether you think he deserves it or not, I mean, a 27-0 lead in the playoffs with the offense that they have to only score 3 points in the second half is like, that's unforgivable when you're already on the hot seat, it feels like. I'm not sure I would fire Brandon Staley, but I think they're going to. I think that dude gets fired.
Yeah, if he didn't lose in such a flashy fashion, or it's like such an extravagant fashion, I think it's just the most Chargers way to lose a game, a playoff game.
Right. It's like what they've been doing this whole time. I remember I even tweeted it that this is the worst loss they've had in the playoffs since that time Marlon McCree picked off a pass and all he had to do was go to the ground and they win the game. Instead, he tries to return it and it gets stripped from him and recovered by the other team, and then they win. It was against the Patriots. Troy Brown stripped Marlon McCree, intercepted the ball, and had won the game. He goes to the ground, they take a knee, the game's over. Instead, he for some reason tries to run it back, and Troy Brown was able to strip it back from him. That's like what these teams do. And you talk about Brandon Staley being fired. They fired Marty Schottenheimer after he went 14-2 this season. So they're definitely not afraid to fire, or historically haven't been afraid to fire coaches that other people think are good coaches. I mean, if you can fire that guy, you can fire anybody.
Yeah, he's probably seeing the door. Just an unbelievable collapse. But man, was it so much fun to watch. Thank you, Brandon Staley and Doug Peterson. Both of you played a part in making that game just incredible. I was rewatching the highlights for that one in the shower the next day. Like that's what I had as my I just watch TV in the shower. I have something pulled up at all times. You guys gonna sexualize my shower? It's about getting clean and relaxing. Everyone here, get your minds out of the gutter. A shower is not a sexual place. A shower is a place for cleanliness.
Get your minds out of the gutter,
How dare you? I would never.
That's like, oh, I watched football in bed. In bed? Where you have sex with people? No, you didn't. The shower is the same thing. It's just wet. Okay.
I was
watching the highlights.
I was not concerned about that part. I'm just concerned about the part where you have your phone in the shower, which I think is pretty weird.
It's 2023. Phones are water resistant. You can get out of the past, boomer.
Yeah, you can pretty much go down into like the Marianas Trench with your iPhone. I think I saw that commercial.
Unless it's more than 10 feet deep, then you really shouldn't. I'm pretty sure that's what it says.
You're trying to sexualize me because I'm watching football on my phone in the bottom of the Marianas Trench.
It's about being relaxed.
It's about being
It's calm down here.
Pretty dark, I bet, and scary.
My fish friend.
You know what? Before you guys judge, I feel like this is when everyone judges me when I order French fries at a Mexican restaurant and then dip it in the queso. Everyone's like, ew. Let me try.
You ordered
and then
French
they
fries?
do it next time. This is just like that. You're going to be like, what? You watch football in the shower? And then you're going to pull your phone out. You're going to be in there next time. You're going to be like, huh, I could turn on the highlights from that.
I've watched football in the shower.
You're going to put it up there, and then you're going to be like, oh, this is awesome.
Here's what I'm
put a video of me in the shower watching Red Zone last year.
Oh, that's nice.
You don't remember that, Simon?
I do remember that.
Here's the problem that I have though, Simon, with that is that you're ordering French fries at a place that probably never makes French fries. Like they're like, do we even have French fries? And then some dude looks in the bottom of the freezer and he's like, dusts off a bag from like 2003. And he's like, yeah, I guess we'll make these for that kid. You think they're still good?
So here's what I'm going to posit to you, Coop. If they were bad, you think it would be like part of my identity that I order them? You think I would be sitting here telling people to order French fries at a Mexican restaurant knowing they were going to go get shitty French fries? Consistently, Mexican restaurants have great French fries with more consistency than almost any other type of restaurant. They've got above average French fries. I don't know why. I'm not going to posit to even make a claim as to why. It's just facts.
Hit you with a double positive.
You just made a bunch of outlandish claims, and then you're like, I'm not going to make any outlandish.
Bunch of deposits.
That Mexican restaurants consistently have the better fries than places that actually like have fries regularly.
I mean, you're changing my words a little bit, but that's fine. It's still around the same point I was trying to make.
Go back, check the tape.
I said they consistently have above average French fries at a rate better than most other places. Not that they're better than other places.
All right, let's move on. We need a peer reviewed study on this topic, but we'll move on.
We got Jordan in here, said got $400 on Tampa to win, even though I'm a fool because I support the Seahawks. Hey, you and Coop both.
You and Coop both.
Dude, yeah, I let Blitz down for the second time. He's never gonna forgive me now.
Never.
Now you guys have to fight in a barn.
We're never gonna be friends. We have to fight in a barn. Damn it.
Speaking of won money, last week, guys, we talked about that Ravens game, and I did put a bet down for the Ravens to cover the spread, and it hit. Let's go.
Let's
go.
What'd you win?
Like $40.
Hell yeah. What you gonna get? How many Mexican restaurant French fries could you get for $40?
Oh my God, so many. When you guys win a bet, do you count? You know how sports books and like products and stuff, they'll show you the amount you put in and the amount you won, right? It'll be like, oh, you put in a bet, you bet $40, now you won 76. Do you guys like take that off? Do you go $36 or do you say 76? Oh, I won $76.
Depends how you say it. If you say I bet 40 to win 76, then that's fine. Otherwise, if you're just telling someone what you won $36. That was
I always round up and exaggerate. I'm like,
I bet 40 to win 1,000, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like what was it, 76? Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I won like $100. Just so like 100, right? That's 76. 76. You can't round down to 75. So obviously it's like $100 you won there. Like for instance, when the Vikings lost, I lost my bet that if they made it to the Super Bowl, I would have won like $2,000. So that was really cool, right? That's an example.
Yeah, just an example. And when the Vikings lost, it completely destroyed any chances you had of winning in the playoff draft that we did.
Our playoff draft, exactly. So yeah, that was super cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, and I became a bandwagon Vikings fan thanks to Scott Fish, and that was really frustrating. So I'm never doing that again. So, things like that where you kind of round up and your feelings get hurt, and then you have to talk about it live the next morning.
Speaking of the Vikings, they are now 11-1 in one-score games this season. They had an unbeaten 11-0 record this season in one-score games, but the one that mattered, the last one, they couldn't pull it out. 11-1 in one-score games. The most stressful season comes to an end, probably in a fitting way, in a one-score game. That's how it should have ended, the way these Vikings have played all season.
It ended exactly the way it should end, which is Kirk Cousins making an absolutely ridiculous decision and throwing it crazy short of the sticks to lose the game. That is exactly how it should end. Like boiled steak. Like the way he cooks his steak on the grill in tinfoil so that it just boils it. That's how the season should end. JL, how do you feel about your boy Kirk Cousins and his performance?
Oh, I feel great. I love watching that man just flounder in a nice prime time.
Flounder is the exact word, bro. Flounder is the exact word.
Yeah, he is a flounder. Eyes on both one side of the head.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Yesterday, I was watching the game, and my girlfriend walked in right as I said, "Come on, Kirky boy, show me what you got." And she goes, "Don't call him that." And I was like, "That's what he is. Like, look at him."
That would make him feel so uncomfortable.
The thing is,
and he did show me what he got. It was nothing.
It fits him. It fits him, Kirky boy. Like you can't say that about most other quarterbacks. You say that it doesn't fit, but it fits him.
Jalen boy.
Especially since their name's not Kirk.
Oh yeah,
Brock boy.
Brocky boy. No,
Brocky boy.
See, that doesn't work. That makes me feel icky on the inside. Jay said, "I'm very uncomfortable now." Yeah.
He's I think the age difference really messed that one up.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins being older than me helps. Brock Purdy being younger than me makes it really creepy to say.
Real weird.
Brocky boy.
It
does feel like there's a higher than average amount of young quarterbacks starting in the playoffs this year, making their playoff debuts, and just younger players in general. And I know a lot of that is we got some backups in there, but they're even backups for other young quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like Skylar Thompson's a young quarterback, but the quarterback he was starting for, young. Tyler Huntley, young quarterback, but Lamar Jackson, I'd also put in that like 28, 29 under category, younger quarterback. Brock Purdy starting for Trey Lance, who's a younger quarterback. Seems like there's been like a passing of the guard. I mean, Jimmy G in there as well, but Trey Lance was the starter for that team. Yeah. There's a little bit of a passing of the guard at quarterback going on right now, and I'm loving it.
Dude, here's the crazy part. Tonight's game features a quarterback that is 45 years old. Brock Purdy is 23, and Trey Lance is 22. So do that math right there.
Whoa.
Add them together, you get one Tom Brady. That is crazy. How long Tom Brady's been playing this game? The full lifetime.
That's math.
The full lifetime of two of the quarterbacks for the 49ers equals one Tom Brady lifetime.
I remember pulling the story. This is probably a couple months ago now. But someone on Reddit did the calculation and said that it was like on this day, Tom Brady is exactly old enough so that half of his life is his football playing career, and the other half he didn't play football. But he's now outpaced the amount of time in his life that he's been playing football than not playing football.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. And I was just thinking about it. If you add Brock Purdy's life and Trey Lance's lives together, you still don't get Tom Brady's life, because over that span,
where are all the championships?
In this championships and kids with supermodels and going on Jimmy Fallon and chugging beers, like he's done. It doesn't add that math. It should add up, but it does not add.
Just in years.
Just the years, not in the cool stuff, dude.
But a year doesn't tell the story.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Numbers can't say what words can, and words can't say what numbers can.
Is that a song from it sounds like a song from like Rent.
Every song is a song from Rent.
Yeah. It's from Jersey Boys, actually.
Is it?
Jersey Kirky Boys. Joey in the chat said, I saved the JL shower red zone video on my phone. I'll release it on my OnlyFans account at noon today. Sign up for a free 7-day trial with the code CHEESE.
Only
fans. Yeah, I wonder what that is.
It's kind of a cool idea, dude. It's like
Only Fantas.
this big, like you could put your fantasy football stuff on this, like independently on this, so you didn't have to have a site like awesome sites like Fantasy Alarm, for instance, where there's a lot of amazing content. A lot of it's free. Some of it's behind the paywall though. So you could on OnlyFans, you could have your own like independent stuff that you could put behind a paywall. If people really liked it, they could subscribe. Kind of a genius idea.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Sounds pretty cool. People would think of something like that.
I would get in.
We should start an OnlyFans between the three of us, but where we give fantasy football advice.
We're gonna take a break for like 3 days while we get this sorted out.
I've always thought it was an underutilized platform for fantasy football analysts. We throw it in there.
Saying.
Someone's going on there to look for a little something to do, but
Get
then they
fantasy.
go, look at these three guys talking fantasy football. They look like they know what they're talking about. We completely switch their mood, capture a new audience.
That's
The
what
old bait and switch.
That's what I'm old. That's what I've always felt about LinkedIn, dude. Like my buddies are on LinkedIn, they're like retweeting these articles about like crypto, and I'm just like, who do you guys think wins the Jags game this week? And they're like, dude, this is this is not the platform. I'm like, what are you talking about, man?
Like, this is my job.
This is my job.
what I do.
I thought we talked about our jobs on here, bro.
He's like, no, not like that. Not like that.
Real jobs.
Yeah. I'm like this. All right, fine.
And Jordan in here saying, real talk though, score predictions tonight.
Yeah. I think that this one, I want to say it's over, but just by a smidge. I have the Cowboys winning 31-28, which would be the over. I think the over under sit around like 45. So that prediction is close to like 49 or so. But that's what I'm feeling. What are you guys thinking?
Flip the teams. I'm with you, Coop. I think Buccaneers win 31-28. That's where I'm sitting.
Tonight's game is a game where like I can't lose because I love Tom Brady, but I also really like the Cowboys. So there's no losing for me tonight unless somehow like the Buccaneers were to win, but Tom Brady would get hurt on the last play. Then that would be a lose situation for me. But for the most part, this is my favorite game, and I hope whatever team wins this makes some noise, wins a couple games because I like these teams. What do you guys want? Who do you guys want? Oh, sorry, Joe. What's your score prediction first?
I'm going to go 34-31 Cowboys.
Ooh, that's a
Boo. I'm all alone over here on the Bucs side. But you know what? I was all alone on the Jaguar side as well in that one. I was the only one picking the Jaguars to beat the Chargers out of us three. And
okay, but that one we were like, ooh, I don't know, man. It could go either way.
Play the tape.
Wait, are we not like that with this one? We all picked a game only 3 points separated. Sounds very similar to me.
Win. I think the Cowboys are going to win.
The Bucs are going to the way it gets to 28 is that they score and then get an onside kick and score again. Up until that point, it'll be a blowout.
I was going to say your confidence is not matching your score prediction. Like so confidently believing.
I think the Cowboys are going to easily have the 34.
Who do you guys?
Like, overtime victory 34-33.
I gotta go. See you guys later.
Forget all predictions you've made so far for anything and anything you have on the line. Who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win between these?
Who do you want to win in your heart?
Cowboys.
Really? No Tom? No for the
You asked with
Tom
my
Brady's
heart.
Great. My
heart fights against Tom Brady, and my brain fights back to tell me that no, you do like him and appreciate him.
Coop, let me ask you this: fair. Would you rather watch a rerun of a show you've seen 1,000 times, or a new episode, or an episode of a TV show you've never seen before?
Or a reboot of one of your favorite shows from the 90s.
What's the new show?
Or that.
That's
which of the three?
That sounds like Tom. That's basically Tom Brady. The reboot from.
When did the Cowboys win their last Super Bowl? That's what I was trying to.
1995.
Okay, then I nailed it.
Okay,
I thought you were just adding in a third option that was outside of the metaphor.
This new show, what rating does it get on like IMDb? Like, what's the number out of 10?
It doesn't come
pretty
out
good.
So I don't know. It's a good show. All right. Well, then I guess I would watch the new show. But what if it's
got a lot of hype?
Tom Brady's like The Office, though, dude. Like, it's very comfortable to me to watch. Very quick release. It's nice.
I'm fine watching either of these teams win tonight.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be cool.
I like this Cowboys team. It'll be cool to watch Tom Brady win again. The playoffs are more fun with Tom Brady in them, but I think the Bucs are going to win. I'd be happy if the Cowboys won as well.
Yeah.
Out of all the games this weekend, I don't feel as strongly to one side towards the other. Whereas like I wanted the Jaguars to win in my heart. For sure. But in most of the other games, like I clearly had one side or the other.
Yeah. So that's the thing is that in my heart, for some of these games, I do care. Like I did want the Jaguars to win, even though I picked the Chargers, because that's more fun. And I found myself also rooting for the Dolphins, even though like I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I don't want the Chiefs to win. And I would be happy for the Bills fans, but I found myself rooting for the Dolphins during the game just because it was an exciting narrative. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I wanted Dolphins to win so bad.
But I didn't go into. Did you go into it wanting them to win?
Yeah.
Jail doesn't like the Bills though, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
The Bills are hard to dislike.
And I like the Dolphins. I'm like I wanted Dolphins are like definitely one of my secondary teams now, so I'm just rooting for them.
I find myself disliking both. I thought I liked the Vikings, but watching that game, I'm like, I hate these teams. I don't like these. I like Saquon. I like Saquon. I like Saquon a lot. He looked amazing, but like I found myself being like, I don't like either of these teams. And I could go either way on the Bengals and the Ravens. So now that I've watched these wildcard games, my feelings really got sorted on who I want to win. The Jaguars moved up like way up. Now I'm like in. I'm way in. And I know you guys are already very much in, but now I'm also very much in.
They're just so fun to watch. And we're definitely going to talk more about that game, but God, they're fun to watch. But the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel makes it just so hard not to cheer for him. And then they've got Tyreek Hill. Like the whole team is fun. And then they're out there and they cut over to Mike McDaniel on the sideline and he's freaking ripping his vape and then blowing it out into his glove in the middle of a wild card game in the fourth quarter. Dude's got a jewel just, and then he tries to be sneaky, pulls his glove up and blows it out into his glove. He's just like us.
What a move. Dude, can you imagine Bill Belichick just cranking a vape, dude, just cranking a cloud mid-game Belichick, and he's just like, yeah, in a playoff game, dude. I could not. Dude.
Oh my God. I freaking love it. And then maybe I don't know what the timing was. Maybe that's what like inspired some of his play calling. Like he gets that Russian nicotine, and he's like 4th and 6 in our own territory with our 3rd string quarterback. We're throwing a bomb.
Right. Pulls out a vape. He's like, hey, hit him with the razzle dazzle.
Send it.
He'll
just takes off.
Hit him with the old razzle dazzle. Let's go.
Skylar's like, copy that.
It's actually a play call. If they look over and Mike McDaniel rips his jewel, then that means that's a go route for Tyreek Hill.
They score a touchdown. The camera pans over, and he's just blowing smoke rings like.
Tyreek Hill's jumping through them.
Yeah, somebody Sam.
Or he's down in the end zone making a fog machine for Tyreek Hill to like emerge from. Like, here I am.
Yeah.
He's just
he inhales enough. He inhales enough.
Blowing it up into the air up at Tyreek Hill.
Like, if anything, that moment confirmed for me 100% that Mike McDaniel plays Pokemon on the plane rides. Like, there's no 100%. Question. There's no question now. There was a moment where I was like, maybe he's not like us, but he is. There's no doubt.
And they look over at him on the plane. He's like got his hoodie on, hood up, sitting in the back with his knees up on the chair and like kind of facing the other way. And you look at him and on the plane, he's still ripping it, but
yeah, in the shirt,
blowing it down into his hoodie.
The older coaches is like, hey, Mike, you want to go over some of these plays? Yeah. No, I'm good.
No, they're like no, you know, we own this plane and you can do that, right? And he's like,
I think that's part of what makes them fun to cheer for. They got a very relatable head coach who's out there. God, he cracks me up.
Maria said, never would I ever thought I'd root for the Cowboys. And she goes, man, maybe I don't want them to win. It's too yucky. I don't want to pick.
That's so funny that like Maria is on the opposite side of this, where like I just kind of bash the Giants. Giants are fine. I don't hate the Giants, but like I just was like it's hard to love the Giants. But she also dislikes both these teams playing tonight, where I just said I like them both. Very, very crazy that we're on opposite sides of the world.
Do you think it hurts for Daniel Jones to hear it's hard to love him? When you say things like that, Coop?
Dude, he's a quarterback in New York City. He's heard horrible things. Horrible things.
And you think it hurts his feelings?
No, dude. No. I don't think he's smart enough to understand to understand for the comments
He doesn't
that are
know
being
they're
made.
being
Yeah,
memed in.
he's just trying to get
He's
by.
just got, like Midwestern humility. He's just like,
He doesn't understand the slang these days. They're like, "You're mid." He's like, "All right,
hey,
hey,
you're mid too, guy."
yeah." Midwest, that's right. That's what you're saying, right? You know, I don't know. Daniel
The
Jones.
main reason he's been good is Dable sits down with him once a week and they go through all the comments, and Daniel will be like, "What does this one mean? You suck eggs." And Dable's like, "Man, that just means that like a chicken
You're
births
protecting the
life into
ball.
this world, you birth life into this game with the eggs that you suck on the field."
Hold the hand.
He's
He's like, "Thank you, brother."
And he's like, "Cool."
Yeah, I don't know. He's playing well. It just it looks strange to me. Every time he runs, it's like watching. It's
Daniel
like
Jones
watching a businessman trying to like catch a cab in the rain. You know what I mean? He's just like trying to scamper around before something comes and murders him. You know, it's just can you just come on?
Simon, you've seen White Lotus, right? Coop, have you seen White Lotus?
No, I haven't yet. You guys told me.
I've seen almost all of season 1 and bits and pieces of season 2.
Why do I feel like Daniel Jones is just Quinn, the young like teenage boy in that show? Like that's
No, you're gonna make me like Daniel Jones.
He's just like on the beach, has no idea what's going on. Sees like Lisa Hines getting a boat canoe. They just start going out, and he's like, "Oh,
That's what I want to do. Me,
Yeah.
pick me." He made it. He made it. Guys, before we had to break, we have a video celebrating our 100th episode that producer Keith wants to play for us. And then after the video, we are going to watch Coop eat his tomato to pay out on his tomato bet with our friend Tommy in the chat. So let's roll that video and then we'll pay out that tomato bet. Happy with 100th episode, guys.
Not sure I was prepared for that.
Hey guys, congratulations on episode number 100. I can't believe it's been 100 shows already.
Hey guys, congrats on 100 episodes that's a huge milestone.
Congrats to the Better Sports Network's morning show, Front Yard Fantasy, for reaching a very impressive milestone, 100 episodes.
Hey guys, I just want to say congratulations on 100 shows.
100 episodes? That can't possibly be right. There needs to be a recount. Congratulations, fellas.
Congratulations on 100 episodes, FYF crew. I'll still never forget that you guys were the first group to give me a chance to do a live stream.
Hey, Front Yard Fantasy crew, it's Moody from ESPN. Congrats on the 100th episode.
I just want to congratulate you guys on all the hard work you have claimed you've done.
Hey guys, Coop, Simon, JL, congrats on 100 episodes. You guys are awesome. Cheers to 100 more.
Just wanted to congratulate you guys on your 100th episode. While some of the football stats kind of go right over my head, I will say I can always appreciate a really good Thanksgiving bracket.
Hey, what's up, guys? Congrats on 100 episodes.
I am so proud of the Front Yard Fantasy team. Congratulations on 100 shows. That'll be 1,000 before you know it.
Hey, FYF Morning Show. Here we are on the 100th show. We didn't know that you guys could do it. I mean, we never doubted you.
Hi, JL, Simon, and Coop. I'm just heading outside from my kids, which is about the only place I can get a couple minutes to myself. But I want to congratulate you guys on 100 episodes of the FYF Morning Show on the Better Sports Network.
Yeah, Coop, JL, Simon, you guys have crushed it. Congrats on 100 episodes.
Hi, Simon. Congratulations on 100 episodes. Woo!
What's up, guys? Congratulations on 100 episodes. I know all the hard work that goes behind it. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud to be part of this team.
Good morning, everyone. Matt Deutsch here, celebrating 100 episodes of Front Yard Fantasy. I have to be completely honest. I've been half asleep for all of them.
Hi, my boys. How you doing today? Congratulations on your 100th show. I love watching you guys. You make this old lady laugh.
Congratulations on 100 episodes, FYF team. It's always a pleasure to be on.
Congrats on your 100th episode, Front Yard Fantasy.
Hey, Rosie. Hey, did you know the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show is at their 100th show today?
Congrats on 100 episodes, guys. So thrilled for you. I can't wait until I'm finally invited on an FYF show. Hopefully it's sometime this season.
Hey, Simon, Coop, and JL. Congratulations on your 100 episodes on Front Yard Fantasy.
Hey guys, just want to congratulate you on 17 fantastic episodes. Of course, those are the 17 that I was on. The 83 other ones that I was not on, that I guess you could just call those stinkers. Probably not that good.
Nobody, and I mean literally nobody, thought that you would make it to 100 episodes.
A happy 100th show. If you ever need a replacement on your house, just let me know.
Hey, Front Yard Fantasy, congratulations on the 100th episode. I'm sure there are hundreds more to come.
Well, 100 episodes of the morning show. Congratulations on hitting that milestone. I eagerly await the next 100. No, I wait the next 1,000 and beyond.
Hip hip hooray for 100 days for Front Yard Fantasy on Better Sports Network.
Oh my God, you guys got me laughing and crying.
That was
legitimately
beautiful.
This
So
has
beautiful.
been unbelievable doing this with you guys for 100 episodes, and thank you to everybody who supported us. That was pretty cool watching that. And I just want to give a shout out to Sam Wagman. That was the funniest part.
Oh
of
my
that
God, that
video
got me
right there.
so good.
God, he's hilarious. That's pretty funny. And everyone who participated, Craig, I saw your grimace in the back over there. Dustin, thank you so much for participating in that. Tommy and everybody else watching in here. Mom, thank you guys for participating. You guys make this special every day, not just for that video, but that was awesome.
You guys got some tough to get people on there, but the Ani Coop, man. Ani Coop. On the show. We gotta have her come on. We gotta have her come on.
My jaw dropped. If you could have seen me whenever Ani Coop showed up, it was just like I couldn't believe. Like I've heard so much about her, and then there she is in the flesh.
I'll get her. I'll get her over
congratulations.
here in the studio one of these mornings. We'll get her.
Let's get her up to talk some Rams in the off season.
She got some awesome stories. You got to hear some of her stories about her, because she was a crazy athlete back in the day. Crazy, like right around when Title IX came around. Like they used to have a rule that in girls basketball you couldn't dribble more than 3 times, then you had to pass it. So most people would dribble 3 times and pass it, but Anna Coop would legit just dribble 3 times, and then wherever she was, she would just shoot the J.
Drain it,
dude. Yeah,
Hit 'em with a step.
she's got some great stories. Softball, field hockey, whole deal. So we got to get her on to tell some of those tales.
So that's what Keith looks like, huh?
Oh, dude, what do you think he smells like?
I thought he would be a little more handsome, to be honest. His voice
I
sounds so
think
much
he-
better.
I think he smells like lavender, tobacco, and patchouli.
Cheese.
Like IPAs, but like not good one, like dusty ones.
Just an
Yeah, let's be-
overwhelming cheese aroma.
I think he smells fantastic, like love and happiness and lemongrass.
Like someone farting in an elevator.
But that person has the superpower where their farts smell like lemongrass,
There it is.
but only ever so slightly.
A true how we all pictured angels to be.
Farting lemongrass. That's it, farts.
Farting lemongrass.
Well, guys, we got one more thing we're doing right here before the break. Coop, you got to eat a tomato.
I know. What the hell, dude? So we have this awesome moment. Now I got to do this. All right.
And then we're about to have another awesome moment.
For those
Before you eat that, Albert in the chat said, "Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Albert. What up? Welcome in."
Welcome in, Albert.
Good
You're
morning.
just in time.
Albert. Just in time, buddy. Yeah. So okay, start the clock. I guess.
Well, Coop, before you get into it, for anyone watching who doesn't know why you're about to eat an entire tomato, you want to tell them what's up, what happened, and why you're doing this?
Yeah. So very early on in the show, and we're talking very early because the season hasn't even started yet. We started the show sometime in August. We got into a little bit of a tussle, me and Tommy, who's been in the chat every day, honestly, since day one. This is his 100th episode as well. And he's a Raiders fan, and I am not. And I truly thought that they would have some growing pains with Josh McDaniels, which they did. So we made a little bet, right? I bet that the Raiders would stink, and they did. But the problem was that I had bet that the Broncos would be better than the Raiders. And the Broncos managed to out-stink the Raiders on this season by quite a bit. In fact, I've been avoiding this bet since it was already mathematically determined like 3 weeks ago that the Raiders were better than the Broncos. So
shout out Russell Wilson.
Shout out Russell Wilson. And Tommy says, let's ride. So yes, let's ride. Start the clock. Dude, don't make a sound.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Oh,
I'm
just
going to keep you up.
It just jumped all over my keyboard. Oh my god, dude. They're so gross.
Oh. Okay, Coop.
Oh, how is
You
it?
are
What's the
approaching
texture
the
like?
30-second mark. That is
Oh,
1/6 of the way.
No chance I get close. Dude, the texture. It's your
It's all in
texture.
your beard.
It's so juicy. I can see how juicy it is.
Oh my god, dude. It's so fucking gross.
We have to do more of these bets. I'm enjoying this so much.
Dude.
It's
What's
so
the over under set at? 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
Oh my god, bro.
It's gonna. The back half is not gonna be fun.
Tommy said so worth it right now. You're
Dude, there's
past
like
a minute, Coop.
There's like a little kind of hard stem thing at the top.
Oh,
I don't know if guys ate that.
Save it for last, and then we'll decide.
Dude, this is painful.
Tommy said he's crying over here. You're at 1 minute and 20 seconds, Coop, to eat that tomato.
Dude, what the hell?
What we should do with bets
Dude,
like this
it's
in
nothing
future-
like the slices or like the ones you have in like a salad.
What? In what way?
It's nothing like them because the texture is so different when you eat it this way. It's awful.
Oh,
You just have to eat it like.
Oh my god, bro. Each way is worse than the last. Why are there so many seeds?
It wants to reproduce.
There's so many seeds, dude.
Oh,
my god.
Jail's mom in here said, "Ugh, gagging." I'm with you.
You're gagging, dude. I'm so dude. I'm gonna be smelling tomato for the rest of my life.
Coop, before the show started and before you jumped into the Google Meet, I was talking to Keith in jail, and I was saying I legitimately would gag like repeatedly on air if I had to do what you're doing right now. The consistency and texture and the juiciness of that was just
shut your mouth. Dude, this middle part is like
Stop doing your Chewbacca impression, Simon.
What's your clock at?
2:30. You got 30 seconds.
Oh man.
Or JL wins.
Over's not gonna hit.
It's
I
gonna be
gotta
close.
I didn't get it done. Dude, it's so bad. It's almost in my mouth.
Quick, Coop, tell me about your weekend. Tell me about
Yeah,
anything.
how we should do
good until now.
248. How we should do these bets in the future is we set a time limit. Oh, it's close. He's just got to swallow.
You gotta show us your tongue when you're done.
And
That'll
I'll
be
let
the
you know
clock
what it's
stopper.
at whenever.
Yeah.
Oh no, the last bite.
And the time. 3 minutes and 5 seconds. JL, you were right. It was over. But what a line. That line was
Well
right there.
set.
I mean, amount of time
I
it
could
took
not
to
eat
get
that any
here.
faster than that. That was gross, dude.
Nice call, Jalen.
Dude, it's all of my
I can't believe
phone.
you ate that whole tomato. Congratulations.
It feels like everybody won with this. Simon, you said a good line. I picked the
How
over.
did everyone win?
You got to eat a whole tomato.
Nutritious, dude. That was disgusting.
Your doctor's gonna be like, finally.
Tommy, you like that? You like doing that? You like eating tomatoes?
You just pulled a Kirk Cousins in the middle of it.
Bro, that was
You eat
disgusting.
one full tomato
Like
and you
that?
literally turn into Kirk Cousins. You like that?
Dude, we gotta go to break, dude. I gotta take a shower, dude. I gotta like wash my
We have
entire
a
body.
15-minute break.
The middle part was too. Maria goes, please tell me he has to eat the middle part. The middle part was awful. Why did I save the middle? I saved the middle part for like. I thought I was gonna clear 3 minutes, no question, until I got to the middle part.
That last bite took like 45 seconds.
Oh, terrible.
I might
Well
have
done,
vomited.
Coop.
We got to get, you're right, Joe. We got to get more of these tomato bets. That was awesome. Guys, coming up, we're going to break down some of these wild card weekend games. And we've got a 100 mascots battle royale bracket. It's going to be 100 mascots versus 100 mascots. We're going to come out with one winner on our 100th episode. We're going to play some vague descriptions as well, and then make some Monday Night Football predictions. You're watching the 100th episode of the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Hey, Front Yard Fantasy, congratulations on the 100th episode. I'm sure there are hundreds more to come. One of the best groups in the business, tons of fun, and I will continue to own your company and remain undefeated on every guest spot I've ever had. So I hold a special place in my heart for your show because it's essentially mine. So congratulations again.
Congratulations, you guys. You know, I love listening to you every morning. You make me laugh every day. I'll tell you that my favorite, or one of my craziest episodes, was when you had a What Would You Rather Do? And one of the choices was punch your mother in the face. And none of you guys, you cute little mama boys, chose punch your mother in the face. I appreciated that. Keep going, guys. Keep making me laugh. And keep teaching me about football. And hip hip hooray for 100 days!
After being on your podcast and just crushing you guys in poll perception, I don't know, 4 years ago or so, I never would have believed that this is what you guys would be doing full time, but it's amazing to see how far you guys have come and what you've been able to accomplish. Congratulations on 100 episodes, FYF team.
Looking forward to the next 100 and beyond. I want to say thank you for all the joy and laughter you guys bring. What you guys interact with each other really comes through the screen and through the radio, and it makes our day, makes my day feel better. So thank you so much for everything you guys do.
Hi, Simon. Congratulations on 100 episodes. Woo! I'm so proud of you for doing what you love and making the funniest, greatest content in fantasy football. I love when I get to listen to you stream from the other room and maybe walk behind you in camera and text with mom about it. So proud of you.
Front Yard Fantasy. Front Yard Fantasy.
We love you.
Simon, JL, and Coop, when that bell rings, you've been on. You've been smart and clever, witty, creative, and well-spoken. Not easy to do every morning. I'm so grateful to have you represent Better Sports Network. You've been everything we want to be. Fun, entertaining, inclusive, innovative, and you've built a community. It's been a joy watching you make each other laugh each day and playing games and letting your imaginations run wild. You've made a connection with your audience because you share yourselves authentically, live with no safety net. Front Yard Fantasy has built a glorious world far beyond fantasy football, and I'm proud to be part of it. There's no other show I'd rather have start our broadcast day. You hear that, Howard? Here's to another 100,000. Front Yard Fantasy.
My favorite memory watching you guys is when you had a draft pick and you had to pick between 500 scorpions or like five kimono dragons, and JL reenacted the kimono dragon with love you guys.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. And I knew today was the 100th episode. I was excited, but I wasn't expecting to feel so sentimental and freaking emotional this morning, guys. You got me laughing and crying during those videos. Thank you so much for Keith and for everyone who participated in getting those put together. It's awesome, guys. I see Sam Wagman in the chat said, congrats, guys. Said, hope I didn't miss ours. Sam, we played that one at the beginning, and I lost it at your video. My God.
Absolutely hilarious.
Was there more videos during the break? I missed it because I was crying and scrubbing tomatoes out of my fingernails and off my face. I came back and somebody was saying good things about this show. This show sucks.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
But
can we get a Komodo dragon for old time's sake?
Oh yeah, this one's for Leanne.
It's the eyes. It's the eyes.
That was like a wet one.
They sink further into your head. It's a Komodo dragon about to reverse evolve back into the seat. Like, it says, "Screw this! I'm headed back."
I'm out.
Enough of this. Where are Komodo dragons? Does anyone know their natural habitat?
Galapagos.
That was my assumption as well. Just seems like any crazy animal like that's got to be on an island where no one else is, just in the middle of the ocean. Guys, it's time to talk about some of these wild card games that went down this weekend. And I don't know if it's because it was a series of island games. I don't know if it's because it's the playoffs that they felt different. But every single one of these games was so much fun to watch. There wasn't a stinker out of the bunch. Even the one big blowout, the blowout was under the wings of the last pick of the NFL draft, third string quarterback, Brock Purdy, right? So like even the one blowout game we got, we're just sitting here and we're still watching something incredible happen. It's still unbelievable the entire time.
Oh yeah, this is such a fun weekend of football. You're completely right, Simon.
There were certain points where I didn't think that the Ravens and Bengals would live up to it, especially in the beginning. But they came around and turned that into a fun game too. So hey, wildcard weekend, the best weekend in football. Hopefully tonight's game is entertaining. At least it's billed to be, right? It's not like a 13-point spread, 45.5 point over under, 2.5 point spread. Conditions are perfect.
And then the other thing from this weekend is I guess leads mean nothing. You can be up 27-0, nothing. You can be up 17-0, means nothing. Here come the Dolphins fighting right back into it, almost tie it right before halftime. Just crazy. Let's start at the top of that Seahawks 49ers game. And Coop, I remember you and I sitting here agreeing, JL, I think you were on the page that he probably won't even be the starter if he does win the Super Bowl. But we said Brock Purdy, in order to keep the starting job going into next year, not only needs to win the Super Bowl, but needs to look like the MVP doing it. Like he needs to be the guy who comes out there and looks like a future Hall of Famer. And 4 touchdowns against that Seahawks defense through the air, 1 on the ground. That's a pretty good start to making that run, to making the case to be the starter next year.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but he's a super duper mega star, and he's the new Tom Brady. I don't think I'm getting carried away when I say that. I mean,
I don't believe you.
Maybe a little carried away. I mean, sure, he has the best running back in the league, and he has the best offensive tackle in the league, and he has the best fullback in the league, and they have the best line, and they have arguably the best 2A tight end, and they have 2 amazing pass catchers, and one of them is like dynamic guy that can also carry the football. But I think it's mostly just
Jalen Hurts has none of those.
It's just Brock Purdy.
No other quarterbacks have any of those.
Well, Jalen Hurts also, if he didn't get hurt, he'd be the MVP of the league. So it's like
Brock Purdy. There you go.
Right there.
MVP.
Right there. Mobile, highly mobile, scoring a rushing touchdown this week. How many rushing yards did he have? It was not many.
Did you see the Pete Carroll quote talking about him after the game? He said something along, I don't have the direct quote in front of me, but he said something along the lines of like, Brock Purdy isn't known for his scrambling ability, like in his profile, but he looked like Fran Tarkenton out there. Like, and that was his reference that he pulled up of a scrambling QB. Like Pete
Stop being so old, dude. Yeah.
He said, man, he looked like a real Fran Tarkenton out there.
Yeah, he was really doing the jitterbug out there. Fran Tarkenton.
But Brock Purdy did look like slippery out there. He was hard to tackle. They were having a hard time bringing that dude down. They just couldn't get to him.
Yeah.
I mean, they were getting to him. They just couldn't get him down.
The thing with Brock Purdy, though, is that like, the more I watch him, the more I see him doing, like he clearly has studied other quarterbacks. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point he said that like he studied Aaron Rodgers, because I see him doing a lot of the things that the veteran QBs do, like taking a shot when it's an obvious offsides, right? Or like even just the way he like when it's a false start, the way he gets rid of the ball, like, it's like it's snapped to him and he wants to make sure he doesn't get hit by somebody after the whistle. So he just kind of like the way he throws the ball into the ground, like it's clear that he's watched other very good quarterbacks in this league. That's my takeaway when I watch them. Because sometimes when you watch these guys, they're doing all sorts of weird stuff and you're like, or they're not, it doesn't look the way that it does with some of these other guys. With him, it really does. He has some of the mannerisms of guys like Aaron Rodgers, and it's pretty impressive. I have to say,
yeah,
I am impressed by this guy.
I mean, like Skylar Thompson, another 7th round rookie who started in a playoff game this week. Don't get me wrong. I think Skylar Thompson played pretty well in that game. He had some bad mistakes. He looked like a rookie out there, but like for what it's worth, he almost led them to a playoff victory against the number 2 seeded Buffalo Bills. But there's a difference between the way he looks uncomfortable. He looks unsure. He looks like he's making mistakes. Brock Purdy doesn't have that same look to him. He looks like he's in full control of that offense.
Slinging it and winging it. Yeah, like he's not. We've been saying this since he first was filling in. Is like he's just not hesitating, right? Which is what is probably the most difficult part about a rookie coming into this new type of situation is that they're going to overthink it, and he hasn't. You can tell by the way he plays. Yeah, he's going, and that's really difficult to do.
Skylar Thompson's like, oh, dude, I have tomato on my goddamn sleeve.
You're gonna be
I'm like going to
weeks.
mimic, dude. I have 2 tomato seeds on my friggin' sleeve. I'm like going to mimic Skylar Thompson, like, you know, he's like checking his towel and like checking his wrist stuff and like looking himself on the jumbotron. And then there's Brock Purdy. He's just got like a hunk of dirt in his face mask and his shoulder pads like up here. He doesn't even care. Like he's just so in the game. That's the difference. You see this guy, he's locked in, man. So
the moment's not affecting him at all. He doesn't care that it's a playoff game against the Seahawks. He doesn't care that he's the backup quarterback, that he was Mr. Irrelevant 7th round rookie. He says, let's do it. He says, let's do it.
It's Purdy time.
It's Purdy time. Now, I'm excited to see more Brock Purdy in this playoffs because Coop, he's still a 7th round rookie quarterback. You expect that to show up at some point, but boy, did it not show up against the Seahawks.
I love Twitter that you can like tell who drafted Trey Lance in their dynasty league and who didn't. Right? They're just out here, you know,
based on their opinion on Brock Purdy.
Based on their opinion on Brock Purdy and and the memes that they're sending and stuff. You know, I mean, it is a tough discussion. It is a tough discussion because, I mean, it's almost a sunk cost fallacy. You know, do you go all in with the upside of Trey Lance or do you stick with what's working? Crazy spot. I think Purdy, at the very least, has earned the right to compete for the job.
Yeah, especially if he does a couple more of these in the playoffs, if he wins another game or two, it's going to be hard to argue against that. It's going to be real hard to argue against that.
If he wins if he wins another game or two, if he wins 2 more games, he's in the Super Bowl.
Geno Smith had an all right game, but do you guys think he's done enough to secure a long-term contract or another contract here with the Seahawks to be their starting quarterback?
So they kind of have already – I feel like teams get in front of this because they don't want it to come as a surprise and they don't want the bad media. So I think the Seahawks themselves – teams have their own like mouthpieces. Like if you hear something from Michael Lombardi, you know that it actually came probably directly from the Patriots because they like leak things. I think the Seahawks have already kind of leaked that they'll franchise tag him. Like they want him back for next year. If they can't figure out a deal, they're going to tag him. So I think he will be back no matter what. And if you're Geno Smith, I say bring on the tag, right? Tag me. Yeah. Tag me now. $30 million guaranteed. You're set for life, dude. Your kids are set. So yeah, tag me up. I love being tagged.
Tag.
Tag.
Did you guys know this professional tag league?
Do I get 30 million? Yo, dude, have you guys watched? Have you guys stumbled across professional tag?
I stumbled across it this weekend because they brought a professional tag player onto a show I watched for a challenge. It was like, how many seconds do you think you can avoid a professional tag player? And they had to like make bets on what they thought they could do. And then they actually brought said tag player out to prove it. But then I went down the little YouTube rabbit hole of professional tag, and it's like parkour, it's hardcore insanity. It's nuts. These guys are all like pro free runners. No, I can't.
No way, dude.
I can't even jump without ending up in a brace for 8 weeks. And these guys are like catapulting themselves off roofs.
Or run without falling on your face.
Run without falling on my face. Both are true.
Have you guys ever been to Disneyland in Florida?
Yes, it's the only one I've been to.
Same.
Have you ever been on
Are we the
Space
same
Mountain?
person?
Have you ever been on Space Mountain?
Yes.
Nah, maybe. I was too young. I don't know.
You know that feeling you get where you feel like every beam inside of that thing is going to hit you in the face?
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's what it's like watching professional tag. Like these guys are sliding around this jungle gym thing, and every second you think they're going to smash their face on this pole. But somehow they just like are like dodging them, dude. Is that not the feeling you got watching that time?
It's exactly the feeling.
Someone has to mess up sometime, miscalculate, and just like break their nose on a monkey bar or something.
I haven't seen it. I've probably watched an above average amount of professional tag.
Maybe I'll go back to my high school days of YouTube after this and go back and type in professional tag epic fail and see what comes up.
Yes, that was the move.
That was how you did it in high school. You would be like football, epic fail compilation, fails of the week.
I actually did epic fail.
I just typed that into my other screen, and there's the first thing that comes up is fails and injury compilation world chase tag, and the video is 3.5 minutes. So I don't know if I want to watch that, but I will. I'm going to.
It's funny that you brought up the old YouTube habit, Simon, because yesterday, Maria. For whatever reason, I quoted this old YouTube video from back when we were kids of this dad at the comedy bar who's got the goofiest laugh you've ever heard. He's like, and then he goes
goofiest in like the literal Disney sense of goofiest.
Yes, yeah. He like gets brought up. He's a comedian, brings him up from the crowd, and then tries to start doing a bit, but gets distracted because his dad just like laughs so funny, and it just stops the show for like 10 minutes. And so I was going back through looking, and I'm like, oh man, there was a bunch that we got into back in the day.
I'd say once a year, probably. Like, I don't know how it happens, but I'll just be sitting in the living room, maybe with my girlfriend, maybe with my sister, maybe with a friend, and one old YouTube video will pull up like, oh, remember that? And then it becomes a game of just passing the remote back and forth and pulling up nostalgic YouTube videos. Like, oh, do you remember the I'm a gummy bear? Yes, I'm a gummy. Like all those just like stupid little things we used to laugh about in like middle and high school.
Yeah, me and my boys, it devolves into that every time me and my boys are like hanging out drinking. Just like, putting on like shoes and all those stupid videos. I don't know the gummy bear one. I'll have to check that one out.
Oh my God. Shoes. I miss Kelly. She had some other bangers of songs. I don't know if that song came out, but she had, let me borrow that top. Let me borrow that top. Do you remember that? You're not even wearing it. So let me borrow it.
Yeah, that was
We're like old Bo Burnham. You guys ever watch that?
That dude's a genius. Yeah. Bo Burnham's from he's from Massachusetts. He's from this area.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. My buddy went to school with that guy.
No way.
Did you guys watch him back in high school?
I did watch him back in high school.
Oh yeah, so funny, dude.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
He's still funny, dude. That his Netflix thing Inside is
one of the best comedy specials I've ever seen. Just truly an amazing work of art.
I've watched it, I don't know, 20 times. Like
I had to stop myself. I'm like not allowed to watch it anymore. I forced myself not to watch it because it'll get stuck in my head for weeks, like certain parts of it.
It's great.
And it puts you in a weird headspace too. Like if you watch it too many times, you're a little sadder. It's funny, but it makes you're just a little.
It's also
bit
art,
sadder.
so it's got to be a little bit true, which is always a little sad.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. I just read Cormac McCarthy, The Road, and I finished reading it, and I was like, guess I'll die now. I don't know if you guys read that book, but I
have not read that. But there are some books who do that where you finish it and you're like, huh. Yeah. Okay. Guess that's the end of that book.
That was literally like that book. I was like, I guess I'll just lie here and stare at the ceiling for the rest of the evening.
Keevan said, welcome to the internet should be the villain song in a Broadway show. Absolutely. It should be a villain song in a Broadway show.
Should make
get Bo on here.
Show.
I would cry. I'd probably make a fool of myself.
Dude, speaking of Broadway shows, can I drop a little fact on you guys that I just heard yesterday that blew my mind?
Yeah.
Okay. We've all seen Harry Potter. Excellent film series and books. The guy that played that Professor Snape. Remember that actor, Alan Rickman?
Mm-hmm.
So he passed away, unfortunately, rest in peace. But he also had another role where he was the bad guy in Die Hard. You guys seen Die Hard?
Yeah.
I've never seen Die Hard.
Never seen it. It's awesome. You got to watch it. But so he plays this bad guy in Die Hard. This he's basically your quintessential European terrorist. I just found out yesterday that Alan Rickman, he was a Broadway guy and he did all plays and stuff. JL, that role was his first ever role in a movie.
Snape?
Or in Die Hard one?
Die Hard.
So I didn't even know that was Alan Rickman until you just said it, and now I can see it. But I didn't even I haven't watched Die Hard in 10 years. So
you gotta watch it. But it's crazy. This guy never even been like an extra or like a small part. Like he just went from being like a beast on Broadway plays to playing pretty much the secondary role in that movie, the villain role, and he crushes it. When I saw that, I was like, how is that possible? How is that possible? This dude's first movie, he just absolutely knocks it out of the park.
It's Die Hard, which I've never seen it, but I know the scale of that movie.
Yeah.
How big of a movie that is.
Enormous, dude. You got to watch it. It really is. It's a fun time.
I'll check it out. Guys, we're going to move on to our next game here. And I said this is the game I was most excited for going into this weekend, and it lived up to it. The Jaguars beating the Chargers 31-30 after going down 27-0 in the first half. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in that first half and then comes back and wins the game 31-30. I couldn't believe it. This was like truly shocking to watch. But my favorite part is that like Trevor Lawrence threw 4 picks, 4 interceptions in that first half. It's his first playoff game ever. Imagine how difficult mentally that is. And he came back out there and threw 4 touchdown passes and won the game. Shout out Trevor Lawrence and shout out Doug Peterson. I don't want to take his role out of this. Like, that is a difficult job to sit down with your young quarterback who just threw 4 interceptions and say, hey, we got this. Like, let's keep our head in the game and let's go out there. And we talk about Brock Purdy having his head in the game. Trevor Lawrence gives that same vibe when he's out there on the field. He's just there. He's ready to go.
You can tell Doug Peterson is like a solid support system for Trevor Lawrence. Like, you can tell how much his confidence is boosted by Doug Peterson and his leadership. So I was really happy to see that this game.
Talk about a guy. I was talking about how J.K. Dobbins not quite saying the right things. Like Trevor Lawrence almost always says the right things, and he just he just makes me chuckle when he talks. Like they asked him about the interceptions, he's like, or they asked him about the game, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I had kind of a was on pace for kind of a not so good record there in the first half with the interceptions, but we managed to pull it out. It's like, yeah, you think so, dude? Not so good. 4 picks.
He comes out and he says things like, you know, even after those 4 interceptions, the team never gave up on me. Like, he doesn't come out and say, like, I did it. He says, the team never gave up on me. We believe in each other, and that's why we were able to get this done. And he's right. Also, did you see his tweet after the game? It was just the meme, they had me in the first half, I'm not going to lie. And it was just that picture after the game ended.
Yeah. And did you see where he celebrated the big win?
I did. He's a man of the people. Trevor Lawrence went to a Waffle House for his post-game celebration, rolled into Waffle House to celebrate.
Classic Southern tradition right there.
For sure.
Look at that.
No, but for real, it was impressive to me. And this, I think Trevor Lawrence, this kind of game, throwing 4 picks like that and coming back and showing that mental fortitude and the ability physically to get it done. And with 4 different receivers catching touchdown passes, you know what I mean? Marvin Jones, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk. He was spreading the ball out to get it done however he had to. This bumps him up a tier in my mind. I think I like, whenever it comes to maybe not fantasy football, but NFL football, I want to put him in the tier with Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes is like the dudes I want leading my franchise. I'm buying in. He's made me start buying him, but this game pushes him up a tier for me, seeing what he's capable of doing in a situation like that. That's hard, man.
And we knew he could make the throws. That was the thing that I loved about him during the whole, scouting and college process, is that like not everyone can roll to their left and throw an absolute laser beam 40 yards downfield on a dime the way that this guy can. So we knew he had the physical ability, just like Josh Allen coming out. We knew he had the physical ability, but then his first year, his completion percentage was 52%. So we didn't know if he'd bring it all together. When those guys do bring it all together, that's when you get Peyton Manning. That's when you get Andrew Luck. Like, we knew it was possible with his ability, but sometimes guys have the ability, they have the strength, and they end up being Jamarcus Russell. They don't have the drive. They don't have what it takes. This guy, I think, has what it takes, and now it unlocks a crazy ceiling for this player. So super exciting to see, because we knew that he could make these crazy throws, and now we're seeing them, which is awesome.
Yeah, this isn't surprising to us, because we've watched him do this in college, right? We've seen him play at this level. We've seen him have this type of poise. We haven't seen it at this level until this season. And so for me, all this has done is confirmed the trajectory that we're all expecting, and hopefully takes away that risk here that he's a bust. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be saying that anymore.
No, I don't think so. Winning a playoff game like that, unbelievable. And JL, Our boy Travis Etienne, 20 carries, 109 yards, looked pretty dang good out there as well.
Oh, that 4th and 1 where they gave it to Travis Etienne on the to run around. That was beautiful. That was so beautiful. Let's turn on the Jets, go. Yeah.
Call. And they believe in him 86% of the snaps. So they are leaning. They traded away James Robinson. So clearly they believed in this guy, but they are leaning into him. Good sign for anyone that has him in Dynasty Fantasy Football. 86% of the snaps in the games where it matters the most. My goodness. Good fun. Good fun was had by all.
Tommy in the chat saying, did you see the Chargers fan put Jar Jar Binks' head on Trevor Lawrence's body? Looks just like him. They posted, we just got beat by the leader of the Gungan race. I did not see that, but I believe that it looked a lot like it.
Jar Jar Binks gets too much hate. I'll say it. I'll admit it. I'm Team Jar Jar.
I'm not sure who's hating him.
Well,
I guess all the people in his world hate him.
In his world, and
I guess that's the whole thing.
A lot of fans thought that he was a bad character and annoying, which I can see part of that. But I enjoyed his antics. It was like Star Wars. He's like Star Wars Mr. Magoo, you know, just kind of bumbling around, making stuff happen.
I kind of view him as like Luigi. Like he's always kind of getting in the way, but when you need him most, he gets it done. You know what I mean? When you need him to save the day, he gets it. In jail, I know you're thinking, I've come around on Luigi, and I've told you this. The person who made me come around on Luigi was Eli Manning, because I do think Eli Manning is the Luigi of that Mario and Luigi relationship. And I like Eli Manning more than I like Peyton on the Manning Bros broadcast, on the Manning cast. And so Eli is, now I'm not pro Luigi now, but I'm just letting you know, like, I understand his role. I'm pro Eli Manning, and me calling Jar Jar Binks Luigi is not necessarily.
You understand why he may act out at times.
Exactly. I get
Daniel Jones is also a Luigi. There's a lot.
Oh, for sure. He gives off Luigi energy.
It makes sense though. Like Luigi and Jar Jar Binks and Daniel Jones, just in this like constant state of almost falling down. Arms flailing, like woo. Like that. They're definitely Luigis for sure.
They're full on Luigis.
And Joe Flacco's definitely a Waluigi.
Also, we got two people in here asking about a conspiracy theory. Keith said, I love the conspiracy theory where he is a Sith master and responsible for the downfall of the Jedi. And Dustin said, do you buy into the Jar Jar as a Sith Lord theory? I'm going to say no. I don't buy it. He's too pure of heart.
I want it. I want it bad. I want it bad as a redemption arc that like he would come back. It was all a big sabotage.
Redemption?
That would be redemption.
Darth Binks.
Darth Binks is such a good name.
Give me that movie. I've seen the Reddit's
I'll kill you now.
That was pretty good, Jay.
It was really good. It's really hard to do a Jar Jar Binks without sounding racist, but you pulled it off.
You nailed it. This picture of Jar Jar Binks' head on Trevor Lawrence's body does look just like it's Jar Jar Binks wearing a Clemson jersey. Is all it looks like.
Anyone not familiar with our show is just like, they're like, it's Jar Jar Binks conspiracy theories, and we're talking about like Alan Rickman, Snape stuff. Like these are our game breakdowns.
Yeah, we're talking about the Jaguars Chargers clearly right now, guys.
Now on the other side of the ball, we got to talk about this meltdown, what it means. A lot of people are calling for Brandon Staley to be fired, but I mean, can you put it entirely on him? That's the question here. Like, where did we go wrong?
I mean, he calls plays defensively, right? He's calling that defense.
Yep.
There were no adjustments that I saw in the second half. The Jaguars came out ready to go, and that defense just looked stale, flat-footed. How do you go up 27-0 and then come out like that? How do you only score 3 points when you've got Justin Herbert at quarterback with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett? Like, I'm a Brandon Staley fan. I like Brandon Staley. I like the analytic side of coaching that he brings, and I think he can find success. I like his process, but dude, that when you're already on the hot seat, there is no way he survives this meltdown. I just don't see it.
That's the thing. And you find that in the playoffs, you get exposed, right? Like the Patriots, they didn't make the playoffs, but they had a game. If they won, they made the playoffs, and they got exposed for not having the right special teams set up, right? And this team just got exposed. I think Albert points it out. Why did the Chargers only run the ball 7 times? I think they got exposed as to just never actually being able to get that power back that, Austin Eckler, awesome back, but he's not they don't have a Zeke Elliott. They have a Tony Pollard, but they don't have a Zeke Elliott. They don't have a between the tackles guy that can get the yards when it matters most and grind the clock out. And we saw it yesterday. You look at the stats for this game. Austin Eckler on the ground, 2.7 yards a carry. Joshua Kelly, 2.9 yards a carry. That's not going to do it, dude. That's not going to do it. That's why they lost this game, in my opinion. But,
you know what's even crazier about this comeback, though? I was trying to explain the craziness of this to my girlfriend. She didn't watch, but she was excited about it because I was excited about it. And I said, not only did they come back from 27-0 down, but they did it without a turnover. It's not like Justin Herbert came out there and threw a bunch of picks or they fumbled the game away. They didn't turn the ball over. They missed a field goal in that stretch, right? And so they turned the ball over in that regard, but there weren't fumbles. There weren't interceptions. This was just the Jaguars preventing them from scoring and going the full distance of the field.
And that's what
each and every single time.
I was going to bring that up, Simon. It felt like the Chargers got complacent. They felt like they had this game in, and they got a little comfortable. And I really think it came down to the Jaguars coming out, not letting that first half get to their heads, and then the Chargers just getting caught on their back foot in the second half. Is really what it felt like.
A little Falcon Super Bowl move, right?
Well, Falcon Super Bowl, yeah. And why did they not run the ball 7 times? I think that to me is a little evidence towards that. Is that they were a bit, caught on the back foot. It makes sense to me that they would then rely on the pass, right? In the same way that you rely on the pass when the game script is not going your way.
And they should have leaned. They should have leaned into what was working. Why did they stop throwing to Gerald Everett too? Like Gerald Everett played 59% of the snaps in that game, but he was unstoppable out there. Like he looked good. He looked the best I think he's ever looked. He had 8 targets, 6 receptions for 109 yards and a touchdown. He was running people over, man. He was getting up, celebrating. Like, lean into that. Why didn't they lean into that? I don't know what happened there, but even Donald Parham, 4 catches on 5 targets. Trey McKitty, 2 catches. The tight ends for this team racked up points. And then they just stopped doing it. I don't know what was going on there, man. It was crazy. It was weird game. Weird game.
And then you got 13 targets with 6 receptions for 61 yards for Keenan Allen. They were trying to feed him, and it wasn't working.
Not working, dude. Yeah, not working.
Yeah, you're right. Gerald Everett looked great out there. He was fun to watch.
He was fun to watch until they went away from him. It's very weird.
No, I'm not going to be shocked whenever we see the Brandon Staley fired headline. I don't know if they should do it, but we'll see. Tommy down here saying he stinks. He calls the D and then said last year they missed the playoffs versus Raiders on that stupid timeout call. Yeah, you guys remember that game at the end of last season where it might have ended in a tie, and if it ended in a tie, then another team was going to go to the playoffs. But it was his fault they lost that game for sure on that timeout right there. And now this year they got blown out 27 went up 27-0 and then ended up losing the game. I can see why Chargers fans would be calling for him to get fired. That's pretty rough to feel like it's a coaching mistake that kept you out of the playoffs or knocked you out of the playoffs 2 years in a row. Not cool, Mr. Staley.
Yeah, I threw a poll up in the FYF YouTube chat here. Should Chargers head coach Brandon Staley be fired? Let us know what you think.
Because we're gonna move on to our next game here, the Buffalo Bills Miami Dolphins game. The Bills ended up winning this one 34-31, but it was way closer than it looked like it was going to be at the beginning. The Bills went up 17-0 on Miami before Miami scored 17 consecutive points to tie it up 17-17 right before the half. Bills made a field goal, went into half 2017, but this game was a lot closer than I expected, than Vegas expected. 13.5-point favorites were the Bills, and 3-point winners did they become.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild game, man. I couldn't help but feel during that game that Josh Allen showed the Brett Favre that he has in him, right? That Brett Favre, Brett Favre's a pretty good comp for Josh Allen coming out. Obviously, Josh Allen's way more mobile, but Brett Favre was another guy that if you look at his college stats, his completion percentage was trash. He didn't win anything. His completion percentage was 50%. And they were just like, well, this guy can chuck it over them mountains, so let's give him a shot. And then he developed into obviously a legendary gunslinger Hall of Famer. But you watched the game yesterday, and Josh Allen was doing a little too much Brett Favre, throwing picks, that fumble, kind of trying to keep the play alive when he should have just gone to the ground. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to be that Eli Manning that just throws it away or takes the sack or whatever. You know, it's like the saying, eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked into jet engines. You got to sometimes take the ball, throw it away, live to die another day. So hopefully Josh Allen learned from this, because if he had just taken care of the ball, then this game would not have even been close. He didn't do that, though.
Did you guys see him try and push Christian Wilkins and
Yeah,
fall?
that is so Christian, in my opinion, I'm team hashtag Christian Wilkins did nothing wrong.
I'm with you.
Oh, I'm with you 100%. It's a little punk move, but it just cracked me up that he pushed him. Christian Wilkins like, whoa. And Josh Allen like falls. It's like trying to push a tree.
Right? And then the big oaf linemen doing what they do. They're like, somebody's touching the quarterback. But you know, had they seen the tape, they'd have been like, okay.
Yeah, then he walks off. He pulls a full Mason Rudolph.
Right. I'm not going to blame Josh Allen for that, though, because, you know, pretty much everybody has those chippy moments, man. You saw, you know, Phillip Rivers was made of chippy moments. Tom Brady's always kind of doing some sort of, you know, sneaky stuff after the play. He's kind of getting in people's faces and stuff, too. So that's just football. That's just football.
Also, we got Mr. Scampers in here. What's up, Mr. Scamper? Said, OMG, they're so handsome, and the Jags won. They are so handsome, and they did win.
Yeah.
Also, Tommy says, anyone know Brett Favre's middle name? No way you get it without looking. It starts with an L.
Lewis.
No way you get it. Just makes a super common L name. Is it
Lisa?
Ooh. Brett Lisa Favre.
Is it Leslie?
My mom guessing Lawrence. That's my confirmation name. Simon Daniel Lawrence.
We each get one more. We each get one more guess, and then we move on.
Okay, I'm gonna say
Mr. Scamper said Lorna.
Lorna.
I'm gonna go with
Link.
Leviticus.
Ooh.
Be a terrible middle name.
But biblical, maybe got some religious parents there.
Leviticus said some weird stuff, didn't he, though? About like,
yeah, I think Leviticus. Yeah, you can't wear those mixed clothes.
And Nick in the chat said Leroy.
And Dustin said, I know it.
Jenkins.
Talk about our old.
Is it okay? Is it Lauren?
Throwbacks.
Lauren.
Dustin says he knows it, but he lives in Wisconsin. So yeah, sorry if you live in Wisconsin, you're disqualified from answering this question.
I'm gonna look it up so we can go on with our lives. All right. Ooh, wow, that's pretty cool. Brett Lorenzo Favre.
Lorenzo.
Hey,
that's a badass middle name.
That's a sick name, dude. Lorenzo.
Why didn't he go by Lorenzo? Lorenzo Favre. Like we could realistically, if he had made better life choices, every time we bring him up, say Lorenzo instead of Brett.
Dude, we could be calling TJ Hawkinson Tomahawk if he just went by his real and first name Tommy. That's the one we really missed out on. Tomahawk.
The Tomahawk.
Yeah, it's like when I talk to my wife about potential kids' names. She doesn't like any of mine. Like she doesn't want our kid to be named Zeus or LeBrangelo. It's like there's no good options besides the ones I'm throwing out. What do you guys think about the name LeBrangelo?
Go by LeBron for short.
Yeah,
I think just LeBron's probably good, but I like LeBron as a name. There's no need for the Jello.
Why not?
Jello.
I don't know. I like LeBron.
LeBron Cooper.
I like Zeus. I love Zeus as a name.
Zeus Cooper.
Child. Zeus Cooper. That's awesome.
My little Zeus Coop.
Got a little bit of Zeus in my coop.
There you go, dude. Tommy Cooper.
I love. I've always. Let's rewind and start that over. I love a Greek mythology inspired name, and I've always thought Perseus would be like a badass name for a baby. Call it Percy, but just name it Perseus.
Perseus Grunewald.
Perseus Jackson.
Percy,
the lightning-ist thief.
Maybe I read a lot of the Percy Jackson books growing up, but that's besides the point.
Perseus Grunewald, you're needed at the Capitol. Like that's my first thought with that.
Mr. Scamper says Capricorn Cooper is what you should name your kid.
Lil Corn Coop.
And Tommy's saying Tommy Hawk Cooper. Speaking of Tommy Hawk, you guys saw the video I sent you of Tony Hawk and Coop. Remember we were talking about how the soundtracks of those games like made our childhood, and you brought up the Superman song. Well, the video I sent you guys, I'm sure you guys watched it, but was Tony Hawk on a stage singing that song in particular that you said reminded me of your childhood playing Tony Hawk.
Was my watching that video, dude, was my
Here
childhood.
I am doing everything I can. And it's Tony Hawk on stage
I didn't
singing it.
know there all the time. Staying younger in my mind.
Nailed it. Guys, let's move on to our next game here. Coop, your newfound team, the Minnesota Vikings, lost to the New York Giants 31-24 in this one. Scoop, I ask you, what happened?
Nobody was more upset than me and Scott Fish and Ian Fish about this loss.
Oh man, Scott Fish's part of that video is so good too.
Yeah,
I didn't even talk about that. He's like his little laugh in the beginning got me. He's like, none of us thought you'd make it this far.
Scott Fish is the master prankster. He really cuts you deep with those. At the expo, I had never actually talked to him in person, and he like called me over, and I was like, "Oh, Scott, nice." And we're sitting in front of like Howard Bender and a few other people. And he's like, "Cool. Wanted to run something by you, dude. A little change potentially for the Scott Fish Bowl." And I'm like, "Scott Fish Bowl change? He's asking me? That's one of the biggest tournaments ever." And he's like, "Yeah, here's what I'm thinking." He goes, "I'm thinking we just get rid of tight ends next year." And I'm just like, "Dude, we shut up." I was like, "Will you leave me alone, please, dude?" I thought it was something serious. I'm like,
oh,
"This
no.
is cool. I'm being called over." No, not serious in the least bit. Pretty rude.
He's
mischievous man.
He's mischief. He is pure mischief. He is Loki if Loki wasn't evil. He's a chaotic, neutral ball of mischief that people assume is not mischievous, but he is
100%. But he skews towards the side of the light. He's good people.
You know, it's probably chaotic good is probably what it is. You're probably right. None of that neutral stuff.
Good, yeah. Chaotic good Joker. Albert says, "Where do you rank Hawkinson next season?" As of this moment, Albert, he's going to be pretty high, second or third. Here's the rub, though. We know Kevin O'Connell came over from, it's like a Memphis dry rub. We know Kevin O'Connell came over from the Rams, and he wants to run an offense with 3 wide receiver sets. So they're probably not going to bring back like fullback CJ Ham, and they could bring in a high-end wide receiver. There's not really many in free agency, but maybe they draft one early. If they do that, we have to adjust, right? But if we go into next season kind of with like Thielen and KJ Osborne, or if Thielen retires, it's just KJ Osborne, then we're going to be high on Hawk. But the most important thing for me is that we can guarantee he's the top 2 target on the team. If they make a trade for somebody or they draft somebody high, then we got to move Hawk down. So it's hard to rank guys now. As of right now, he's going to be top 3, but otherwise we're going to have to move him. So keep that in mind. That's the most important thing, is for the guy to be a clear-cut top 2 target on his team. That's where all the best guys come from.
He looked pretty freaking good yesterday, though. Like he has this season, 11 targets, 10 receptions, 129 yards. So, Coop, I'm with you. If things stay the same, or they don't add anyone, how is he not in that top tier next year of tight ends? He's got to be.
Yeah. Thielen's probably done, but I mean, we've seen it recently. Like, this is not the league of yesteryear where you're stuck with the guys you have. Teams are willing to go out and mortgage the future to trade for Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill. Like, these guys move. If they go out and trade for DeAndre Hopkins, and it's DeAndre Hopkins and Justin Jefferson, I'm not sure I would even have Hopkins in top 5, as crazy as that sounds.
Jail, on the other side of this ball, is Daniel Jones good now? Did Brian Dable fix him?
I don't know that he fixed him, but he looked pretty good. He looks pretty good. He's playing good enough that they'll probably bring him back next year.
Yeah, I think it's all but a foregone conclusion at this point after they won that playoff game, and he looked good doing it. They're going to try their best to bring him back. 24 for 35, 301 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, out another 78 yards on the ground on 17 carries. Coop, you like what you're seeing from Daniel Jones?
Yeah, usually I'm a Daniel Jones, a disparager of him. And in general, he's, I'll have a hard time ever ranking him top 10, but got to say, he's making Isaiah Hodgins and Darius Slayton and Richie James look pretty good, right? Like, talk about a guy that they've attempted to get him weapons and none of it's worked. Kenny Golladay had a pretty good block yesterday, but I don't think he caught any passes. They drafted Kadarius Toney in the first round like a year ago. He plays for the Chiefs. Wan'Dale Robinson is on the IR. Like, all the attempts at getting this guy weapons have kind of fallen flat, and dang, he looked pretty good with what he's got. Just imagine if he had some better players, right? So maybe Daniel Jones is going to hang around in this league. We'll see.
And
if I'm thinking about this from Brian Dable's perspective, what's the likelihood I'm going to get someone incredible, right? Unless there's an opportunity where I can actually go and get someone who's significantly better than Daniel Jones, it's probably less risk just going Daniel Jones and just working and trying to improve the parts of his game which aren't fantastic, and then building around it. I mean, getting a franchise quarterback is not cheap, right? Any team has to give up significant resources to do that.
Bingo. So, and it's like most of the free agent quarterbacks are lateral at best. Like, do you think that Ryan Tannehill is a drastic improvement over? Well, let's play a little game. Here's a little game that I like to call up, down, lateral. So would you say that Ryan Tannehill is up, down, or lateral?
Say in a vacuum lateral.
Let's say up, down, same to keep it same.
Because
lateral.
with the amount of time that I think Daniel Jones having this extra year in this system gives them the boost. So I'm going to say down for them to move on to Ryan Tannehill.
That's a great point,
specifically
Simon.
for the Giants.
That's a great point. It's lateral and talent, but down to if you factor in the switching costs.
Yeah, exactly.
What about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Down.
Actually, I would say
say lateral.
Say lateral, yeah.
Lateral.
I think he's better than Tannehill, but if you factor in the switching costs there, then I think it evens out.
Okay, so we think that Geno Smith is going to get franchised. What about let's throw out
Brock Purdy. Or they can trade for Brock Purdy.
Down.
Down, I think. Maybe. Down. What about Gardner Minshew?
Down.
Down.
Baker Mayfield?
Down.
Down.
Yeah, so I think they're kind of where they're at.
Mr. Scampers has an interesting one. Trey Lance.
Up. That would be different.
Yeah, because that creates the mobile upside. I think the ceiling of Trey Lance is different. I mean, but I mean,
I was gonna say Daniel Jones.
He
can.
He's got some businessman running in the rain wheels.
Lamar Jackson
running in the rain.
Up for Lamar Jackson.
Tom Brady.
For the Giants, where they are now,
his age.
I think it's a bad idea.
I think it's
up,
very
but
down.
it's up, but they shouldn't
But
do
it's
it.
up.
Up, exactly. Up, but it's a bad idea. Up, but it's a bad idea.
Up, but dear God, that would be stupid.
So this has been a game of up, down, lateral.
Yeehaw!
Yeah. So yeah,
what the Giants did this year was unbelievable. I look at this roster, I look at the names on here, and like, this is a compliment to Brian Dable. I think it's not even close. This is the least talented roster that made the playoffs, and they won a game that they deserved to win, and they're moving on to the next round, to the divisional round. Like, just unbelievable what he's been able to do with this team in a year. And it looked like it was falling apart at a certain point during the season, but they're getting hot again at the right time. So I'm excited to see if they can do anything in the next round. And the best part is it's now a divisional game in the next round, right? Like, that makes it so anything can happen. They're playing the Eagles. They're playing their division rival, the number 1 seed, to send them home and ruin their Super Bowl dreams. It's going to be fun. Like, I'm excited for that game. I'm way more excited than if they were playing some other team, because then it'd be like, oh, this team snuck through. A divisional game, anything can happen, man.
The lines are already out on some of these next matchups, by the way, boys. We have
the Lions.
The line.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
The Lions are out of the playoffs, but the lines are out for these divisional playoff rounds. Would you guys like to hear some of them?
Yeah, I would love to.
The Giants and the Eagles game we just mentioned. Obviously, it's going to be in Philadelphia because they are the number 1 seed. The over-under is 47.5, and it's a 7-point spread in favor of the Eagles right now at home.
Seems fair.
Which, yeah, pretty reasonable. What do you think, JL, about that spread?
What was the spread? Sorry.
7 points. 7 points in favor of the Eagles.
I would take I think the Eagles cover.
Yeah, I think the Eagles should win that one. The other two games that we have the matchup set in stone already, both have over-unders above 50, which that's fun. The Bengals at Bills, 50.5, and the over-under is 4 points in favor of the home team Buffalo. So that is closer than I had imagined. How do you guys feel about that one?
I mean, I think we just watched both of these teams look beatable against backup quarterbacks, right? Like we watched both of these teams against division rivals with their backup quarterbacks almost get beat in their opening playoff game. This line makes sense to me based on what we just saw. Tyler Huntley led Ravens almost come in and beat Cincinnati. Skylar Thompson led Dolphins almost come in and beat Buffalo. We're looking at two teams that maybe aren't playing up to the standard they expect in a win or go home game with superstar quarterbacks, high scoring, close score. It makes sense to me.
For someone like me, just in favor of fun, that's a good narrative. I want close games with high over-unders. The other one, Jaguars at Chiefs, 51.5 over-under. The spread opened at -10, but it's already down to -8.5 based on maybe a little residual Jaguar magic floating around. JL, you think they have enough magic to win that game or at least cover the 8.5 point spread going into Kansas City?
I think yes, I do. Yeah.
All right. So now that your heart has spoken, what does your head say?
My head says confident. They can do it.
Ooh, double heart and mind in a meld that they're going.
I think they'll cover. I think they'll cover that spread. This Jaguars team is looking hot, and they don't give up when they're down. So I think even though this Chiefs team can score on a dime, we're going to see this Jaguars team stay around and fight for the entire game. Now, do they win? Probably not 9 out of 10 times, but I think they cover this spread, and staying within that range means it's win and go home situation. They could pull it off. I'll give them a 10% chance to get that win done, but I think it's possible.
It's about getting hot at the right time, baby.
Chiefs secondary isn't as solid as the Charger secondary.
Charger secondary looked good. They look mean. Derwin James.
What was the stat that Trevor Lawrence had just as many completions to the opposing team or to Asante Samuel as he did to his own team at a certain point in that game?
Asante Samuel looking like his dad out there, dude.
Also, Andrew Elmquist and you're saying congrats on the 100th episode, guys. So sick. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thanks,
we appreciate it.
Cheers.
You know what's sick, guys? In the next 10 days, 9 days, I get to see in person JL, Maria, and Andrew. All three of you guys I'm going to get to see in the next 9 days in person. Everyone's coming to Texas.
Andrew, if I remember correctly, was one of the very first people that won an autographed jersey on this show. Pretty cool.
Was it the Sammy Coates jersey?
I think it might have been the infamous Sammy Coates.
Remember when we were Oprah for a while?
You get a jersey. You get a jersey.
That was tight. That would be cool if maybe in honor of the 100th episode, we'll give something away this week.
I like giving away things that other people buy. I've learned.
I like giving away random things that I find on my desk. Like you could win this large bag of Chester's Flamin' Hot Cheese Fries.
Winnie the Pooper. I still haven't found my Winnie the Pooper card. Nando was texting me about it this weekend. Like, did you get it? And I pulled out my
the back of yours the same as mine? Are they all the same on the back?
Yeah. There's a chick eating a box that says food on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think is that a box or is it a food? I guess it is a box. That makes a lot more sense.
It's a book that says food, apparently.
Chungus in here saying, morning, fellas. Coop, get your sea chicken loving prediction. New York out of here. Bang, bang, Niners gang.
Hey, forget about it. I'm walking in. Tommy says, still waiting on my finger trap. Yeah, we ordered the finger traps. They all came to my house, and I just keep using them to trap people. So we're going to have to order a second batch. These ones have already been used. So they're covered in tomato juice now. So we're going to have to send out a new order of finger traps for everybody. But yeah, if you want a finger trap, hit me up on Twitter. My name is Keith.
Finger Trap Coop.
Finger Trap Coop.
Keith Scope. And send me feet pics on Twitter at Keith Scope.
And Albert in the chat, I see Thibodeau doing the gritty on the Vikings logo.
No, I didn't.
Savage. Awesome. I did not see that either.
Thibodeau, he's like turning into the villain. He's turning into a villain. I love it though. I love it. If you're gonna be good, be good. If you're gonna be bad though, be good at it. And I think Kayvon Thibodeau,
I may be bad, but
I think he's a bad boy.
Also with a last name like Thibodeau, embrace it, man. Thibodeau. Like that is like the super rich, super wealthy villain from a movie, right? Like the guy who's like behind the scenes running things.
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, yeah. He sounds like the dude that would kill Mercutio.
What? Why didn't Jill, what you just said, the way you said Thibodeau made me think of Doug Dimmadome. Doug Dimmadome.
Owner of the Dimsdale Thibodeaus.
Owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, Doug Dimmadome. Guys, coming up, we've got a special bracket for the 100th episode today. We are going to be doing a 100 mascots bracket battle royale, 100 of each mascot facing off against each other. We're going to play some vague descriptions, and then we've got some Monday Night Football predictions tonight as well. This is the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Joe, Front Yard Fantasy. I just wanted to say congratulations on a pretty cool milestone. Nobody, and I mean literally nobody, thought that you would make it to 100 episodes.
A happy 100th show. If you ever need a replacement in your house, just let me know.
Happy 100th, guys.
100 episodes. That can't possibly be right. There needs to be a recount. Congratulations, fellas. I've always enjoyed spending time with you guys. You're the absolute best. Whether it's hanging out with JL at a bar, watching him explain to everyone that no, he and Stephon Diggs really are very good friends, or watching Simon silently scope out a room and decide how he would fight absolutely everyone in it. Again, always a joy to be with you guys. Love you. Well done on 100 episodes.
What's up, guys? Congratulations on 100 episodes. I know all the hard work that goes behind it. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud to be part of this team. And outside of realizing every day that I'm commenting 45 minutes to an hour behind the actual live broadcast, if I had to pick one, my favorite moment on the FYF Morning Show would be when Simon adopted that pig named Babe. When Babe started hanging out with Simon's sheepdogs and they taught him how to herd sheep. But it wasn't easy because the animals on the farm weren't happy about that. But Babe proved him wrong and became a really good sheep herder. And in the end, Babe and Simon went to the big sheep herding competition and Babe won. Keep killing it, guys. Keep everybody laughing. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hey, guys. I'm Kate. I'm Andrew's wife, or should I say Coop's wife. I'm just trying to send this message. It's really early in the morning. He's still asleep. So am I. But just wanted to congratulate you guys on your 100th episode. While some of the football stats kind of go right over my head, I will say I can always appreciate a really good Thanksgiving bracket. But yeah, keep doing what you guys are doing. You're doing awesome, and you have a lot of people who love watching you. Keep having fun, guys. Bye.
Hi, JL, Simon, and Coop. I'm just heading outside from my kids, which is about the only place I can get a couple minutes to myself. But I want to congratulate you guys on 100 episodes of the FYF Morning Show on the Better Sports Network. It's 100 fantastic episodes of hearing about Simon's poop stories, having to defend Grimace against that goofy oven mitt, and JL's terrible food takes. You guys have already supplanted a lot of other shows as people's favorite morning show, and I know you got a lot more coming up. Congrats again, guys.
Hi, my boys. How you doing today? Congratulations on your 100th show. I love watching you guys. You make this old lady laugh. You keep rooting for my Rams, boys. They're going to come through again someday, hopefully while I'm still alive. Have a great show. Bye, guys. Love you. Auntie Koopy out.
Oh my God, Annie Koopy's a legend. Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. Annie Koopy.
So good, dude. So good.
Oh my God. An absolute legend.
Annie Koopy out, dude. This message will
I did not expect the finger guns.
This message will self-destruct.
I thought she was anti-violence.
Annie Koopy. See you later, dude. Wow.
That was awesome. That was awesome. And then, God, every single one of these guys, I think, you know what? I'm good. I'm ready for this one. And then you got Craig on there, and Annie Koopy, and Scott Fish, and everybody just.
Craig, it's the way that video starts, it makes me think both times I watched it now that he's just talking to me. He's, hey, JL, Simon and Coop.
My wife proving how little she cares about football by saying Thanksgiving bracket, which nobody knows what that is.
favorite moment of
Thanksgiving
the
foods.
entire show was JL doing a Komodo dragon impression.
Yes.
That is my favorite moment too, though.
It was freaking funny.
I think mine happened today when Ani Coop said Ani Coop out and went
Wow.
Yeah, strong, dude.
Guys,
That should be the new intro. Just Honey Coop out.
Out. Guys, it is time to get into our bracket for today. We've got a special bracket, 100 mascots bracket battle royale. We're going to hit some NFL mascots against each other, but not one of them, 100 of them each facing off in a battle. Now, before we get in there, before these battles start playing out, I just wanted to ask, what is the arena for these battles? Are we talking Hunger Games style? Like you've brought that up in the past, Jay. Like, are they in like an enclosed, like outdoor arena where they're running around? Or is this like in a coliseum? Are we on a football field, like at a stadium, and there's 100 of each in each end zone and they just fight? What's going on here?
So the way I was thinking, I was going through this, Simon, and I was hesitant to add the Dolphins because every single time we do one of these battle royales and there's a land versus sea creature, or the environment of one option versus the other, one's main on land, one's main on sea, it's the same debate that comes up. It's like, well, where is it happening? So the way I was kind of thinking about this was, instead of the where it's happening, we should assume a neutral battleground, but you should assume types here. And so like a dolphin, for instance, is going to be more water type, and a lion might not be able to reach it, but a buccaneer is going to be able to get in that water and take out that dolphin potentially. He's going to have an advantage. So take into account the types here and strengths against each other.
You got to be able to pitch a narrative on how that creature is going to defeat the other creatures or people.
And let me also ask, like, so, and with that in mind, we can assume that these mascots would have the general paraphernalia that comes along with what they are. Like, for instance, a Patriot.
Yes.
Right? Like, he would have a gun. A jet. If it's the Jets, then obviously the Jets can't be in the bracket because they would probably.
Yeah, I avoided abstract mascots for this reason. So all the mascots are yes, you can assume
it's reasonable to assume they have access.
A Viking has a battle axe probably running into battle, and they got a helmet on.
And a boat, if they need it, because Vikings are known to be water creatures as well.
100%.
Yeah, Buccaneers will have general things Buccaneers have, maybe gun and a sword.
Mr. Scamper said you can't have 100 dolphins in the same area or the world ends. You know that.
Well, everybody knows that rule.
I hate
it's a hypothetical situation that we're running through here, so that might come into play, Mr. Scampers. Here's the mascots that are going to be facing off.
Please don't tell the FBI.
We've got 100 Jaguars versus 100 Vikings, 100 Buccaneers versus 100 Bears, 100 Lions versus 100 Eagles, and 100 Rams versus 100 Dolphins. So that is going to be our bracket. First up, we've got 100 Jaguars versus 100 Vikings. And Coop, you got the first vote here. You're a newfound Vikings fan, so maybe you've got a little bit more insight onto how a Viking would do in a battle here. But they're facing off against 100 Jaguars. Who's going to win this one?
I'm also a brute force Jaguars fan, and because I wasn't necessarily a huge fan until after Saturday night. But I was sitting up in bed at night just thinking about Trevor Lawrence's glorious hair in Waffle House, and now I consider myself neutral in this fight. 100 Jaguars sounds like a real problem, right? Like that sounds like a situation that would be difficult for anybody to get out of. But 100 Vikings, man, I can get quite pillagey. I think in this instance, because the Vikings have their weapons with them, if the Jaguars they're not really a pack animal. If they were a pack animal and they could figure out how to team up and work together, then that would make more sense for me. But I just don't think the Jaguars are going to be able to get it done, especially if it's a one-on-one situation where it's one Jaguar versus one Viking. Give me the battle axe, man. I got to take the cunningness of the Vikings in this one, fortunately, because I like the Jaguars.
One vote for the Vikings. JL, are you agreeing with Coop here? You think the Vikings are gonna get it done or not?
I think actually, Coop, your logic makes me feel the other way, in that I think 100 Vikings would do much better against 100 anything that is together and working as a pack versus Jaguars, which are known to be more elusive. They're gonna hide, and they aren't pack animals, so. There'll be more one-off. These Vikings, they're going to have to split up, most likely. I'm going to go Jaguars here. I don't think the Vikings are going to be able to handle it. If they were going against the Lions, I think they'd do a much better job here. I might go the Vikings, but it's a tough matchup for the Vikings.
Jail, what you're saying is true, but I think you're reaching the wrong conclusion here. I'm going to side with Coop. When we think about the Vikings and where they found their success, it was when they were surprising other forces, right? They were marauders. They were pirates. They would go and they would conquer lands without people being aware they were coming. They would attack ships. Where they did not win is whenever the other team was organized, whenever the Christianization of Scandinavia, the loss of that culture, them coming in and being conquered, they lost to opposing armies, to well-formulated groups. They did well in these kind of like chaotic scenarios, because I think the Vikings are a little bit chaotic in the way they fight and battle. They're going to die. Here's the other thing that the Vikings have going for them. They had such a strong belief in like fate and the afterlife and going to Valhalla, right? Like that was such a core part of who they were as individuals that these guys have no fear of a Jaguar ripping their throat out. They're going to have a strategy. They're going to run up there and they're not going to care if the Jaguar kills them because they got Valhalla waiting for them on the other end. And they're going to lose probably a good chunk of that 100 Vikings. I think the Jaguars are able to take out 30, 40 of them, but I think the Vikings come out on top. I think they pull this win out.
It's a fair point. If you'll allow a rebuttal here.
Yeah, go on.
I don't think that them being the more organized isn't the only aspect here, right? Because they're going 100%. Against humans, right? More or less organized humans versus Jaguars, which are going to be hidden and absolutely deadly in the fact that they do it every single day to eat. And I think they'll have trouble against them, even if the Jaguars aren't all an organized force. I don't think that's the only thing that beats the Vikings.
I think just to me, it boils down to you have equal numbers of here, and in a 1v1, I'm taking the Vikings. So if we have if you can get it to a scale of 1v1 situations, I know it's a 200-pound cat, but still, I mean, with an axe, bro, I don't know. I feel like I could fend off a Jaguar myself with an axe, and I'm not a
I could not.
See, absolutely no overconfidence here.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I still gotta go. Vikings. You make a compelling argument, Joe, but I gotta go Vikings here.
This is like Coop watching the Olympics and being like, I could do the long jump.
Always.
Yeah, Simone Biles, I could do that.
I could do that. That's me. I could do that for sure.
The luge.
That little spinny guy.
Also, Tommy, you're saying 100 Jaguars, just pure carnage. Jaguars run 50 miles per hour. Let's set it up. You know what? Now I'm thinking, like,
go ahead.
If this isn't just a flat arena, because I do think like Coliseum style, that would benefit the Vikings. Like you're talking neutral ground. I don't think that would be neutral. I think that wouldn't be neutral. Jaguars' natural environment has some more coverage, some more places to hide, places to jump down from. And Coop, I think you're right. If this is in a one-on-one scenario, I think the Vikings win. But the Jaguars might be able to get out to an early lead. And I do think then that becomes hard to come back from. I think it's really difficult when you're outnumbered by Jaguars to come back.
All 100 Jaguars run outwards, right? So they disperse the Vikings. Vikings, their power's in numbers. It's a bunch of them. They're crazy. They're going to fight to the death. You separate those bad boys. Lights out.
Nick DiNuccio, when you're saying a biker killed a cougar with his bare hands a few years back, give me the Viking. So you made a compelling argument.
I rest my case.
You almost
Cougars
right,
are big,
but
bro.
Also bare hands.
Jaguars. Yeah, but what do we know about this? What do we know about this cougar that this biker killed? We need more information.
That was an adolescent cub.
Cougars can be the same.
Just choked out a baby cougar.
Cougars are the same size.
The headline was cougar.
Cougars are the same size as Jaguars.
This cougar was the same size. You know that?
Maybe not for a fact, but this biker wasn't also a Viking.
I'm rolling with the Vikings. I'm rolling with the Vikings here. It's close though, but I think the Vikings pull this one out. Jaguars getting eliminated in this one, which means we're moving on. 100 Buccaneers versus 100 Bears. 100 Bears versus 100 Buccaneers. I'm going to take the first vote on this one. And I know I just voted for a human, and now this human has a gun. This Buccaneer definitely has a gun. Buccaneers are pirates in the age of firearms. They've got a shotgun or whatever it is that pirates carried in that day and age, a pistol. I'm not sure. I don't know gun history, but I know he's holding a gun.
It's one of those guns with the end of the barrel go out.
Yeah, it's a flared at the end.
It's a fancy gun.
A fancy gun for fancy pirate boys. I love a fancy pirate with a frilled shirt, and that's what Buccaneers are in my mind. That being said, I went down a bear rabbit hole not too recently where I was just reading about bears because they are such crazy animals. And I was going through the different kinds of bears and like the level of danger that they present. Above and beyond, polar bears are by far the most dangerous bear. Not even close. Because they are aggressive and territorial. And what gets them going is where they live. They are truly the apex predator. The only things they run into are food. There is not a single thing that they run into that is not potentially food for them. So whenever they see you in a barren landscape where food is hard to come by, they will attack. Anything living is food. Now, a grizzly bear, which is kind of what I'm going off of here. I'm assuming this is a grizzly bear. I don't know if you know how big a grizzly bear is, but it is massive. And from what I read, a gunshot will not stop a grizzly bear. Like, you are not getting through its skull. Its skull is literally so thick that you're not going to kill it if you shoot it in the head. So good luck.
It's like Josh Allen trying to push Christian Wilkins.
Right. The only hope you have is to potentially hit it in the heart with that gun, but you got one shot because that bear's fast. I think the Bears win this one. I think the Bears run down the Buccaneers. Maybe they kill a couple of them, but they're fast, they're strong, and that skull is borderline impenetrable to the guns they're going to be shooting at them. Those old school Buccaneer guns don't stand a chance.
With how scary polar bears are, have you heard the old safety rhyme regarding bears?
If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, stay back, or something like that.
If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. And if it's white,
it's a bear.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, those polar bears are getting you. Jail, I'm taking the Bears here. Are you taking the Bears or the Buccaneers?
Yeah, this is gonna be tough for the Buccaneers. I mean, I see Chungus in the chat said Buccaneers have cannons, Buccaneers over Bears, Bears do cover the spread, Bears plus 25. Here's the thing. I don't know that it's very easy to hit a bear with a cannon. A cannon feels like
that'd be gross.
Cannon feels like more of like good if you're gonna hit something that's slow moving.
A large stationary target.
Yeah, but a bear, it just feels like it's gonna move out of the way pretty quick. You're just gonna be shooting where it was a bunch of times. So
they're just making it more angry.
You're just pissing it off. Yeah, it's coming right at you. So I don't think the Buccaneers stand a shot here. Maybe I'm underestimating humans, but I don't think they're gonna survive. I think they're gonna be dead.
100 bears. That's so scary.
That'd be a mess, dude. And
I still think we're underestimating 100 Jaguars, but
I'm going.
The Bears are pretty terrifying.
I'm going with the Bears, dude. I just they're slowly marching towards you. And again, the cannons aren't effective. And if you pulled one of those guns on me, I'm not sure I'd even be scared. You pulled like some like blunderbuss on me.
You're like, oh no!
I would just like put my hand on the barrel and be like, all right, enough.
Don't shoot me.
Cut it out.
It just blows up back at them.
Right? Some little. I mean, Buccaneers, dude, in your mind are super cool, but these are all like deviants. They all have like scurvy. You know, they're not hitting the weights or anything. Like, these guys they probably smell terrible, but the Bears also probably smell terrible. This is probably
hipster pirates.
This probably be the best, arguably the smelliest matchup of the group.
The best part when you start learning about like Buccaneers and Pirates and you start digging into them, most of these big names, when they were at their notoriety, they were like 16.
Right.
Or 19. Like they were literal children. Like, I guess people died younger back then. So that was like a grown ass adult. But like, I think about it, and it'll be like, and then he took control of the ship and captained it. And he was 16 years old.
Right. Yeah. I always think about the things that I'm doing. And I'm just like, Jesus, you know? But yeah, give me the Bears, dude. They're going to eat these guys alive. But I find myself wondering in the, if I would take the Jaguars over the Buccaneers. I think I would even take the Jaguars over the Buccaneers. I don't think the Buccaneers, to me, they don't, like, as Simon explained, they don't have the heart of Valhalla on their side. These guys they'll turn on you. They'll turn on you in a second. These guys are
all that money. They're for hire.
Thieves. Yeah, they're thieves. They're criminals. I can imagine them just being like, I'm out, jumping ship, you know? So I think I would take the Jaguars over the Buccaneers.
Bears are moving on, and we got our next matchup: 100 Lions versus 100 Eagles, and this is a fun one. In jail, you got the first vote here. Who's coming out on top, Lions or Eagles?
Before we get to that, the last I threw a poll in the chat. Good, my goodness, for the last matchup, 100 Buccaneers, 100 Bears. 50-50. The chat is split on that one, guys. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Probably gets
so this one is which wins in it? This one is Eagles versus Lions.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's your pick.
All right. Eagles versus Lions. Man, I don't really know how mean the Eagles are.
Pretty mean.
Does
this help?
It does. That sounds pretty mean. It sounds like it would be pretty
amazing. Now, excuse me while I go clean the blood out of my ears.
That's just tomato.
Thank you for moving closer to scream.
I've got you move away when you do stuff like that. Bro. I got blood. I got blood in my ears and tomato in my belly. This is the 100th FYF show.
So I don't really know how deadly Eagles are. I've only ever seen them flying from afar. And I've never seen a lion, so they could be made up for all I know.
Could be. They seem mythical.
I'm assuming neutral battleground here. It seems like Eagles are going to have the territorial advantage, just being able to attack from the higher ground. I think I'm going to go with the Eagles. Lions are pretty deadly. I think this is a really tough matchup for them, and I think they're going to have a hard time swatting these Eagles out of the sky. So I'm going to go Eagles.
Yeah, man. The thing with the Eagles, dude, is that I don't like thinking about how the Eagles would win. Like it would be it would be pretty gruesome. There'd be a lot of eye pecking, I imagine.
Oh yeah, no eyes everywhere.
Yeah, it would be pretty nasty. I've seen Eagles. Like the thing is with Eagles, they can take down some pretty big prey. I've seen an eagle throw a mountain goat off a cliff, which is pretty metal. But I think lions are just too big, man. They're too big, and their paws are so powerful. If eagle swoops down and they get one paw, they're done. Flying's done, right? And you mess up some of those feathers, man. Those guys are just kind of rolling around on the ground. I think the Eagles. This would be a long and drawn out battle, but I think the Eagles are going to have to land at some point. You can't just fly forever, my boys. So give me the Cats on this one. I think those big boys are a little too powerful in this situation. I don't think the Eagles have enough coordination and do enough damage to get this done.
God, this is a really tough one for me, and the vote is split now. We got one vote for Eagles and one vote for Coop, and I think the Eagles definitely get, or one vote for the Lions. We just throw 100 Coops into
War Chungus in the chat had the same thought. Eagles can only fly for so long. Yeah, what goes up?
I don't know if that's true. Some birds sleep while flying. They're able to glide without the physics of a bird is wild. I don't know if eagles are like that.
I guess chilling. I guess it could be trees. High in the trees.
Yeah, but the lions can climb.
Here's what I think. The Eagles are definitely getting the first shot, right? The Eagles are getting the first hit in because they're coming in from above. They're going to be able to get that first hit. I do think in a war of attrition, though, the size of a lion, one good attack from a lion. Know what I mean? The Eagles need a consistent barrage of 15, 20, 30 attacks probably to take a lion down. And that might be generous for the Eagle. The Lions just need one shot. They get a hold of a wing. They completely demobilize it. Know what I mean? So I think it's too much to ask an Eagle to take down a lion. Sure, they could take down one of them. But if it's 100 v. 100, I think I'm rolling with the Cats on this one, JL. The Lions are going to be the winner for me. So the Lions are moving on over the Eagles. And that brings us to our last matchup here. 100 Rams versus 100 Dolphins. Coop, you have the first vote on this one. Who's it going to be, 100 Rams or 100 Dolphins?
100 Rams versus 100 Dolphins. Now, sidebar on this one is that you would think that I would have to go with the Rams because my auntie Koopy loves the Rams. But here's the kicker. My sister, who I love dearly, is a Dolphins fan. Right? So this is a family torn apart. You know, it's once again another, for the second time in the show, another Romeo and Juliet type situation. The Rams, both animals in the ungulate category. I don't know. Dolphins are so smart. That's the thing.
Excuse me?
Ungulate.
Wait.
Look it up, dude.
What does that mean?
Ungulate. This is the fifth.
All Google it separately.
So yeah, it's a
you told us this the other day. This is a fact that you taught us.
You guys don't listen to me. You don't pay attention to anything I say.
Weird.
So
said you taught us.
It's a category of hooved mammals generally but for some reason, Dolphins also fall into this category. Right. So Rams, Dolphins, both ungulates. The thing is, the Dolphins are just too smart. They're arguably the second smartest animals after humans. So I think the Dolphins figure out some way to trap these Rams, and it's an absolutely sicko water bloodbath. Even if the Dolphins have to find a way to come on land, I could see it. I don't even see how the Rams do enough damage. Are we talking headbutts? Because Dolphins got pretty mean headbutts themselves. You know what I mean? They turn into a headbutt off. I'm not sure. The Rams
Also, I feel like they're just gonna bounce off that shiny surface of the Dolphins' head.
They're too slippy for headbutts. I think that they get a hold of a leg, drown those boys. So yeah, gotta give me the Dolphins here, man. Gotta give me the Dolphins. Sorry, Coop.
Tommy,
we're letting Naughty Coop down, man. We're letting Naughty Coop down.
Luckily, these are 100 hypothetical Rams and not the football team. So hopefully it's forgiven.
100 Rams.
Tommy in here said tomatoes are making them smarter. Yeah, one tomato, and Coop starts dropping words like ungulate in the middle of brackets.
Kind of a genius, dude.
Crazy.
Part of the ungulata
kind of a genius.
family.
Through my sunglasses, so I have to wear these ones now. These dolphin sunglasses.
Nah, it's Coop, I'm agreeing with you here. It's got to be the Dolphins. The level of intelligence that they have is terrifying. And in a battle against a bunch of like headbutt goats, the Dolphins are coming out on top. They're going to figure out something. They're going to plan. They communicate. Like there's been studies about like language that Dolphins have that gets passed down from generation to generation. And just another thing to throw in there, I think most people underestimate the size of a dolphin. They are freaking huge. Those are big fish, and it's not even a fish. Those are big ungulates. I think those big ungulates are going to take down the land ungulates and come out on top.
Dolphins can weigh 2,200 to 6,000 pounds. Is that serious? That can't be right. No, that's got to be
how are the Dolphins going to do any damage apart from Coop's one scenario about them dragging them into the water and drowning them? But if we're assuming neutral territory here, how else can the Dolphins kill the ram?
Dolphins weigh
they don't have hands.
88 to 130 pounds.
Neither do
those Rams have hands.
How do the Dolphins kill them? They've got tons of razor sharp little teeth. And what Coop said isn't a hypothetical. Dolphins have dragged humans underwater and drowned them. And if a dolphin can drag a human underwater, I think they can drag a ram underwater.
I'm not saying
I think they bait the rams into the shallow water. I think they bait the rams into the shallow water. There's like, I'm imagining a coliseum of like half land, half water with a beach area. They're going to bait them in. They're going to give them like some easy shots. Maybe a dolphin even goes up there because they're smart. They're going to formulate a plan. They get a couple dolphins as like the bait crew that goes up there and then
the Rams are like, why is there a Rams treat right here on the beach? Why is this trail going into the water of little treats for me?
Is that the Super Bowl trophy?
Can we rewind to when JL said ram hands?
Yeah.
The
Rams have hands.
The front ones are the hands and the back ones are the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much
also,
like
Joe, you already mentioned it earlier. They got a nasty headbutt too. Like the Rams' main weapon, the Dolphins can do it as well. They can swim fast as hell underwater right there. That headbutt can do some serious damage. Like Dustin mentioned, they can kill sharks.
What do they put their head down right before they? Like, how do they do that? Rams got like the horns there. What do the Dolphins lower their head?
Thick skull.
You just hit the top of their little squeaky head.
Thick skull. They also, for sharks, I know what they do. This doesn't work on rams, but rams can't breathe underwater anyways. They hit them right in the gills to prevent them from being able to breathe with their head.
Oh, rams are done. Their gills.
That's what I'm saying. Like these Dolphins got a little bit too much smarts in them. Like I don't know exactly how they're gonna do it, but they're just a little bit too clever. And a ram doesn't have a clear plan. You know what I mean? Like what's the Rams? Whenever I don't see a clear path for either one to kill them, I'm going to go with the one that's smarter that I think can come up with that plan. The Rams are going to be like, I don't know. They're in the water. What do? I don't got hands.
Yeah. For me, I think it's go ahead.
I'll say Mr. Scamper says undulating ungulates. Yeah, dude, you get these Rams, dude. If they run into some undulating ungulates in the overhanging underbrush, there's just no way they're going to be able to pull this one out. So give me.
I think they're going to use their hands to strangle these Dolphins. Just absolutely smother them in the shallow.
What if the Dolphins use their hands?
Their hands. Well, they're not going to be able to grip anything. So I'm gonna go Rams on this one. I think they'll use their hands, their hooves, and just.
I'm going Dolphins over these karate Rams.
Guys, we got our second round matchups set now. Before we get into that, though, I did want to remind everyone of something going on right now here on BSN. Right now, we are being sponsored by our friends over at Lucra, the redefining friendly competition. You saw Coop and I make a bet the other day during Fantasy Detective, or was it Quote Him at Quote Face? Coops took $3 from me, but it's easy peasy on Lucra. You can compete in the games you play and the sports you watch. Just download the Lucra app, use code BSN to get $5 free to play with. And then you can make bets with your friends right there on the app.
You know what's funny about that?
Well, I'm getting it back.
I'm undefeated on there. Obviously 100% win rate. That's the only bet I've done so far. But it has you listed as my friend, but also next to your name, Simon, it has a little thing that says Nemesis. So apparently whoever you bet with the most becomes your nemesis, I think, on there, which I think is excellent. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And we got Fantasy Nav in here saying 100 episodes. Congrats, my dudes, the nemesis. What's up, Eric? Well, welcome in. Thank you so much. You guys ready for our first semifinals matchup?
Oh yeah.
We've got
wait, the chat on this one. First of all, the last one I didn't mention, 100 Lions, 100% of the vote in the chat. In the Rams versus 100 Rams versus 100 Dolphins, Rams take home the victory with 60% of the vote from the chat.
Boo. That's because they're hands.
Because of the hands. It's the Rams' hands.
You said the Rams won in the chat?
Yeah, 60%.
Over the Dolphins?
Over the Dolphins. And Chungus in here. Chungus said, oh, I lost it. No, he said Smart can only do so much. Dolphins soft-bodied and don't have moxie.
Oh, are you kidding me? Dolphins have so much moxie.
But Tim points out that if this is and we're going by mascots, the Dolphin mascot does have a helmet, in which case the Rams would do basically nothing with their headbutting tactics.
Also,
can Rams even bite hard? If a Ram bit you, would it be that bad? I feel like it wouldn't be that
probably.
bad.
I imagine they got you ever seen goat teeth where they're flat but somehow sharp? It looks like the flattest, sharpest set of teeth you've ever seen. That's how I imagine Ram teeth.
Yeah, but they're always grinding like this, like nails on a chalkboard, grinding their teeth while they eat food.
I just hate it.
Well, guys, we're going to move into our next round matchup here. We've got 100 Vikings versus 100 Bears. I've got the first vote here, and I got to go with the Bears. All the arguments I laid out previously, I think these Bears are going to be able to take down the Vikings. Now, it's a little bit scarier against these Vikings. I think they got more fight in them than the Buccaneers do. I would take the Vikings over the Buccaneers, but I think the sheer size and power and strength of a Bear is going to be too much for each Viking to take. And I don't think they're going to be able to come up with a strategy good enough to take down 100 of these guys. I'm taking the Bears to win. Coop, what do you think here?
Yeah, I do. I think just, if it's polar bear, it's not even close. And since Vikings are Norwegian, Scandinavian type folks, we could easily suggest that they would get into tussles with polar bears. I think we have to go for the middle bear though. You rule out polar bears on the top end, you rule out pandas on the bottom end, and you settle somewhere in the grizzly bear range. But dude, grizzly bears, those bad Larrys can get big. They can get tall, right? Those guys can they can get 10 feet tall when they're standing up. To me, I think it's I just don't know what you're doing with the axe to slow a bear down, man. Where are you even hitting it? Are you going for the neck shot? Are you going straight face shot? I just don't think, unless you're knocking a jaw off or something with that axe, man, you better not miss. And I think that if these one-on-one bear versus Viking situations, enough Vikings are going to miss that. It's going to be Bears. And once more than 50% of the Bears win their one-on-ones, now it's 2 Bears against 1 Viking. I don't even know if I would pick 2 Vikings against 1 Bear to win, but 2 Bears against 1 Viking, that Viking's toast. So that it's a numbers game for me. That's what it boils down to.
Well, the Bears winning. You going Bears, JL?
I don't know how numbers really helps humans in this whenever the numbers are smaller, right? Coop, you and I are going up against the bear. How much are we really coordinating while fighting a bear? We're both just going to be flailing around trying to do whatever we can. There's no coordination unless there's 50 of us or 100 of us against 1 bear, right?
Dude, coordination. I'm running. The only thing that stopped me from running is I might try and stop and trip you first before I run. That's the only thing that's stopping me from running away.
You try to trip me, but then I just avoid it and run the same way you do. So
Yeah,
we both
that's probably how it would go down. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's at the end of the day. Some of these we got to start looking at it that way. Like if it were 2-on-1 in either direction, I'm not even sure the Vikings win that. So I have to take the Bears.
Dale, are you taking the Bears as well here?
Yeah, I have to take the Bears. I don't think the Vikings win. I don't. All the points you made, Coop, makes a ton of sense. I don't know where the Vikings would hit a Jaguar either with an axe. Or I guess they'd hit the same place in the Bear where they'd hit the Jaguar to kill
Please
them.
let the Jaguars go. All right,
But it's fine.
Let
It's,
it go.
you know, probably the neck region or the heart region. But I'll go with Bears. I don't think the humans are gonna be able to do it.
Let's move on to our next matchup, guys. Bears in the finals now, and they are going to face off against either 100 Lions or 100 Dolphins. JL, you've got the first vote here. What's it going to be?
Before we do, Maria asked in the chat, Coop, what does oviparous mean? Oviparous. Oviparous. Oviparous?
Oviparous?
Oviparous. When I hear ov, I think of eggs, like ovaries, eggs. So my guess would be some sort of bird. Is it a bird? Are they bird?
It is producing young by means of eggs that are hatched after they have been laid by the parent. So pretty good. Because it's not just birds, but there's other animals too.
Guess who took Latin?
I did too, but the only thing I remember is Gladius and Wahina.
Wahina. Yeah, so am I up?
That's sword and sheath.
Sword and sheath.
Nice.
And sheath is spelled Vagina.
So reptiles and stuff would also be oviparous.
I believe so. JL, what you got for this last one? Lions versus Dolphins.
Lions versus Dolphins. I'm gonna go Lions here. I'm gonna go Lions here. They have sharp claws and much sharper teeth than Dolphins, so it's got to be Lions.
Yeah,
I'm gonna jump in. Oh,
go ahead. No, you jump in.
I was gonna jump in because JL, I agree with you. On the surface, the Lions look scary, but I want to tell you a little story about something I know personally that Dolphins can do that makes me think we are truly underestimating their intelligence and their battle readiness. My uncle, or my mom's cousin, but I call him uncle. Shout out my uncle. He's in the Navy, lifelong in the Navy. In one of his jobs for years, he was responsible for training dolphins to find undetonated bombs and mines underwater, locating them, and then communicating the location back to the military to come down and defuse it. Like, to train dolphins to be able to find and locate explosives underwater is pretty incredible that they're capable of doing that. That's a highly intelligent animal that has military experience already. You know what I mean? Like, I'm imagining these are 100 military trained dolphins underwater ready to go into battle. I think they come up with a plan and they're able to take the lions out. All they got to do is get a lion in the water, and I think they win. Wow, like, if they can get the lion in the water, they're going to take him down.
That's fair. I allow me to offer my own personal story that I know truly happened. There was once a lion who his dad was killed. His dad was murdered right in front of him. And that lion stopped at nothing to find the killer and destroy him himself. Vindicate vengeance. The amount of intelligence it takes to be able to go through that entire arc, avenge your father, like that's a brave lion.
God, I just don't think he's going to have a warthog or a meerkat available. Like, if this was a lion, a warthog, and a meerkat, I think maybe they'd have a chance against the Dolphins. But 100 lions,
the Dolphins going to have any bombs either.
I think you're going to need the meerkats in the warthog if you want that Hakuna Matata mentality.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna mentality. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say,
mentality.
Yeah,
so stupid.
I gotta say, you got that Hakuna mentality, bro. That you're gonna need that. I gotta say, dude, that was a great, vague description of the Lion King, and also, Simon, your story about your fake uncle who's not actually your uncle, very touching. But my analysis is a little more simple than that.
Navy, whatever that is.
Lions are just a little bit too bitey, so gotta pick the Lions.
Well, we got two bitey boys in the finals here, it seems like. We got the Bears versus the Lions, 100 Bears versus 100 Lions here. And Coop, you got the first vote here.
Now, this is tough for me. This is tough. He's the patriot in me, the American in me wants to pick the more American animal. Grizzly bears, not as American as apple pie. Whereas lions, not quite hanging out here. They're more, out there in the Namibia area. So I would like to support our folks here, but I don't know, man. Grizzlies, they lumber. They seem a little too much lumbery, a little too slumbery, perhaps. I feel like lions, dude, with the biting and the jumping and the swiping and the avenging their father. Like, I gotta pick lions. It's gotta be the king of the jungle for me. So
Coop going with the lions. I think for me, what does it is think about how these two animals hunt. Like whenever they do hunt, bears are omnivorous, except for polar bears. Those guys just eat meat. But grizzly bears are omnivorous. They're going to hunt and gather, but they're also going to hunt. And lions hunt. Whenever a lion hunts, though, it's all about stealth. Whenever a bear hunts, it's so strong and powerful that it doesn't matter if it's sneaky. A bear does not have to sneak up on you to kill you. A bear does not have to sneak up on its prey to win in a fight. It just goes in and he's a bear. He says, "I'm a bear and you're dead." And it shows up. Whereas lions are like sneaking in and then they get the surprise. So
I'm going to get you.
The lions are winning this one is if they can get that element of surprise. Otherwise, the bears are just Kool-Aid manning their way through this final. I'm taking the bears, which means JL, you're going to decide. Bears or lions, who's winning this bracket? Tim in the chat is on the Bears side.
Here's the thing. Every single educational resource, every single documentary I've ever seen on lions, they're always about to die from starvation because it seems like they kind of suck at hunting.
They do look kind of rough.
It seems like they're always desperate, and then they get that meal and it saves them for a little while longer, but they're going to get hungry again pretty soon, and they got a whole family to feed. Coop, you mentioned them, the bears being a little sleepy. I feel like every time I see lions, they're always just napping. They're always just chilling, yawning in the freaking desert or something. And I think that's actually true. I think after they hunt, they get like super exhausted. So they got to, get their energy back. I'm going to go Bears. I don't think this is even going to be close.
USA. Yeah.
North America as a whole, grizzly bears are also found in Canada. Sorry, our Canadian listeners didn't want anyone. and get those grizzly bears out there. Grizzly bears win this one. Tim said it's bears. It's always bears. They're killing machines. Nick said average grizzly bear is twice as heavy as a lion.
Glizzy
bear.
You say glizzy bear?
What's a glizzy? What the heck is a glizzy bear?
Glizzy bears. Yeah, when you're just crushing hot dogs on the 4th of July, you're turning into a glizzy bear.
The grizzly bear is the one that faced off against Kobayashi in the hot dog eating contest. Did you ever see that video?
No.
They had him face off against a literal bear, and he had a good lead because it took a minute for the bear to find, I should eat these hot dogs. But the bear wins. A bear can eat hot dogs faster than even the human that can eat hot dogs the fastest. Isn't that? It's kind of humbling sometimes, as a human to watch that. This is the guy that's the best at this. Period. No one's better than him at eating these hot dogs fast. And they just grabbed a bear. Know what I mean? Not the best. There wasn't a bear tournament to see which bear was the best at eating hot dogs. They just said that bear, and the bear won.
Does the bear know it's in the contest?
Probably not. The bear just knows it's in a room that it shouldn't be in, and there's a bunch of hot dogs in front of him.
For all we know, that could have been the worst bear at eating hot dogs.
Right? Yeah. It could have been the literal worst bear.
That bear might have just not been trying.
All the bears at home, they're like, look at this idiot.
That's the bear they picked. I would be a better representation for the Bears.
Tim, they picked Tim.
Guys, we're going to be right back, and we're making some Monday Night Football predictions here, talking about this Bucs-Cowboys game, so stick around. You're listening to the 100th episode of the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Congrats to the Better Sports Network's morning show, Front Yard Fantasy, for reaching a very impressive milestone, 100 episodes. It's truly an impressive accomplishment by the entire team. Getting up at that hour takes a ton of hard work, dedication, and I'm sure plenty of caffeine, or maybe Red Bull. Thanks for providing endless hours of entertainment, guys, laughter, and the games are unique, one of a kind, and always so much fun. So here's to continued success. and I look forward to the next 100. Cheers.
Hey, FYF Morning Show. Here we are on the 100th show. We didn't know that you guys could do it. I mean, we never doubted you. Thanks for keeping us laughing and entertained every morning. And here's to 100 more.
100 shows. Why? They want to do 100 more.
Hey, what's up, guys? Congrats on 100 episodes. Appreciate that Jay Novacek jersey as well, man. You guys are doing a great job. Look forward to listening to you guys in the morning. So just keep it up.
Hey, Simon, Coop, and JL. Congratulations on your 100 episodes on Front Yard Fantasy. It was a pleasure working with you guys producing your pregame shows this fantasy football season. Look forward to more to come, and I wish you all the best and success in 2023. Congratulations, guys.
Hi, Poison Control. How many fish oil pills does it take to feel again?
Big congratulations to the FYF crew on your 100th episode. I gotta say, one of my favorite parts of being on the team is just finding those gem clippable moments in your guys' morning show. So shout out to you guys and keep making it happen.
Hey, Rosie. Hey, Rosie. Hey, did you know the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show is at their 100th show today? I know. I'm pretty speechless, too.
Hey guys, congrats on 100 episodes. That's a huge milestone. Probably favorite memory of being on your guys' show was watching you guys run routes, or at least attempt to run routes. Let's put it that way. But again, congrats on 100 episodes. Hope there's 100 more, and wish you guys the best.
I am so proud of the Front Yard Fantasy team. Congratulations on 100 shows. That'll be 1,000 before you know it. I always love how you treat people, make everybody feel great, and your knowledge of football is amazing, and that blend is just a winner. Keep dominating.
Hey guys, congratulations on episode number 100. I can't believe it's been 100 shows already. Producer Keith asked me to pick out a memory or two, but you guys have given me so many memories that I can't even pick one out. You're awesome. Here's to a couple hundred more.
No, Ernie, I never wear pants during their show. What's the big deal?
Welcome back in, everyone, to the 100th episode of the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. And I will have everyone know, it is show rule not to wear pants during the show. If you've got pants on, you are just throwing off the vibes here. This is a no pants show.
Get them off. Get them out. Hogs out.
Get them out. Hogs out,
He's
baby.
going actual hogs up and out for the show.
Glad to see some Keith Peach.
Yeah, Keith, do you always stuff a sock in there like you definitely did during that clip?
And Dustin said, Keith has me cracking up. My wife is looking at me like I'm crazy.
How many versions?
I did not expect that.
How many versions of that do you think Keith has recorded on his phone where he just looks at
so
it?
many.
He's like, not enough bulge. Delete.
He had to call Ernie for every take so that it felt authentic. Let me do one more.
Guys, I think we have something else special prepared right now in honor of our 100th episode. Some of the most memorable moments. There were people in there talking about their favorite memorable moments. We can probably hit some of those, right? Or was that what that video was? And now I'm messing up.
I don't know what's going on here. I didn't even know any of this was happening.
Here we go.
You're in New England Patriots locker room after a particularly hard loss.
Okay.
All the players have showered, trickled out of the room, but you remain seated at your locker, still in your pads. Bill Belichick walks in, sits next to you. He lets out a groan or a sigh of air as he went from standing to the sitting position. He doesn't say anything. He just sits there. 10 seconds go by, 40 seconds, 60 seconds. You've been sitting here in silence. You look over at him and your eyes meet. They stay in shocked stasis for a moment. His mouth curls into a smile and he chuckles. What do you do?
I get up and leave. I was never supposed to be.
Have you pooped your pants as an adult man?
Oh, absolutely, I have. Would you like to hear the story?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
So I used to work for Barnes & Noble, and I lived right behind the mall where the Barnes & Noble was. So I was leaving work, and the normal way through the back of the mall, for some reason, it was closed off. So I had to go all the way around, which took it about 15 minutes. And I had a little Tommy Trimble right before I walked out of it. And I'm like, you know what? I can make it home. I made it as far as my apartment complex pool, and I went to step on a curb, and I'm sweating. Like, I got to poop. And I missed the curb with my shoe and just crapped my pants.
Oh no!
Just full filled them up. It was disgusting.
Full filled them up?
Oh yeah. It all hell broke loose. So,
what's your favorite beer?
Bud Light.
You go under anesthesia. You wake up to find your dentist and hygienist putting their clothes back on. Who do you start, Bellinger or Disley?
Bellinger.
Also, what would you say to your dentist?
Nice. Trivia question, and I imagine they mentioned him yesterday, but who's the best NFL player to come out of TCU? There's a pretty clear answer.
Gary Barnidge.
Close, but this guy's a little better.
I'm guessing it's one of the all-time greats that I don't remember went to TCU.
So I'll give you guys some hints.
Thomas.
It's a running back.
Thomas.
So that's actually close. His last name sounds like that.
Lamas.
That actually also, if you put those together, you actually got to get his last name.
Talamas.
Tamale.
Tamales.
Tamalias.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
LaDainian Tomlinson. Impressive work, detectives.
Rockstar you would let beat you up just so they would touch you.
Michael Jackson. I don't know why I thought that first.
Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher. I say those guys I respected a whole lot. It was because, we were basically having business meetings in the A and B gap, from time to time on the football field.
In the A and B
gap. Yeah. We're having business meetings, man. We're making things happen. We're moving things. We're moving each other. I remember one time, Brian, I didn't realize that I guess I got him good, and he helps me off the ground. He said, "Dude, you just knocked the snot bubbles out of me." I'm like, oh.
You're welcome.
I like this dude. I like this. I was like, man, get, all right, good tackle. Boom. Let's go. So he kept it, we were just competing out there.
And that is the rookie running back for the Seattle Seahawks, Kenneth Walker, with Rashad Penny going down.
Rookie running back.
Fractured tibia. Yeah, friends with Chewy over there.
Chewy.
You guys
Do
agree?
your best Chewy impression, Coop.
Thank you, JL. Thank you.
How'd I do?
Excellent.
Let's have a chew off. Now you, JL, and then the chat will vote on who's better. Oh, shoot. I should have gone first.
All right. You're up, Simon.
Oh, no. JL, that was pretty freaking good. Have you practiced that?
I have.
Simon's going on the IR now with a exploded vocal cords.
Welcome back in, everyone. Every time I knew it was coming, and it still entirely caught me off guard. The noise that came out.
I watched it for the first time since it happened, Simon, yesterday, and it was so much better than I imagined. It was so funny. You just went right into it, and I don't know what you do with your face. It's perfect. It's so perfect.
Oh my God. I haven't seen it since then, to be honest.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's pretty good. Guys, thank you everyone for sticking around with us through 100 episodes. We've had a ton of fun. Those are some little clips. Some of you guys shared your favorite memories, and we're hoping to make some more awesome ones going forward. But we got a killer game tonight, guys. The last game of Wildcard weekend, Monday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coop, we talked a little bit about it earlier. The Cowboys 2.5-point favorites on the road, over under set at 45.5 here. Sounded like all three of us were on the over, and the two of you guys taking the Cowboys in this one. But Coop, where's your confidence lie with the Cowboys tonight? How confident are you feeling in this team?
Well, that's the thing, is that I've been very confident in the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys a lot, and if the Cowboys are playing a number of these other teams, I would be very confident. I would have picked the Cowboys over either of the Vikings or the Giants. Would have picked them over the Seahawks. It's just that it's Tom Brady in a winner takes all game like this guy, he can still sling it. He has his bag of tricks. He's been there a million times, so he's not going to get shook. Like, man, I'm picking the Cowboys to win because I think they're the better team overall. I think they have a good offense. They have a good defense. Special teams is fine. And it's just that one guy, Tom Brady, that scares me. So it could go either way. I'm going to pick the Cowboys, though. But Tom Brady, you can't rule him out. You really can't.
JL, you sounded a little more confident than Coop when we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, I did sound confident, and that was completely made up. Yeah, it's going to be hard to count these Buccaneers out. And the Cowboys, I think I mentioned it last week. The Cowboys worry me. They worry me that they're going to get into this game and they're going to get in their own heads. The Cowboys feel like a team that's very susceptible to those mental type of that momentum, those mental errors. That's a narrative. It's just my intuition on it, and it makes me nervous. But I think the Buccaneers could beat the Cowboys in this game. I don't think that's absurd. And obviously, the spread's not very big, so.
Well, Jill, I think like some stats point to what you're saying. Like I think Dak Prescott leading the league in interceptions this year, when that's something he hasn't done before, shows maybe like in those moments he's putting a little bit too much on himself. He's trying to make stuff happen, and you lead the league in interceptions when that happens. I agree with you guys that this is going to be a close game. And I do think that, Coop, what you said, the experience and the drive from someone like Tom Brady on the other side in a close playoff game could be the deciding factor. Yeah. And let's not forget that he's got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin that he's throwing the ball to, right? That helps out.
As JL kind of pointed out there, like this one, I don't have access to it here, Jay, because we don't have legal gambling just yet. But if you have live betting, the Cowboys, I think for them to win this, they need to be able to run the ball. And I think they need to go up in the beginning. If it gets to a shootout at the end of the game where it's like, both teams are scoring, because we've seen a few games like this where both teams, the offenses are kind of scoring at will. I would trust Tom Brady to not make the mistakes in this situation. Dak Prescott this year has made the mistakes. In the past, he's made those, and he hasn't really been in this situation. How many games has this guy played, Dak, that are loser goes home? Like winner takes all games, because Tom Brady has played in more than anyone in the history of this league's ever played in. So if it comes down to the end and it's a winner takes all situation, if I had access to live betting, that's when I would just start putting money on the Bucs to win. I think the Cowboys are going to win because I think they can get out in front, and I think their defense can get after Tom Brady, which is what you have to do. But if it gets down to the wire and it's 28-28, I'm betting Tom Brady.
Mr. Scambers in here saying the Fugon Buccaneers are going to pull it out. And I'm positive that's how you pronounce that.
100%. He said that was amazing to the clips. Yeah, that was amazing.
No, I saw some love in there for your facial hair, Dale. Dustin said I missed the JL facial hair.
The beard, yeah.
Evil JL.
Yeah, I'm so glad after watching all those clips that I shaved it, because after watching all of them, I just kept every single time. This is all I did the whole time. I couldn't stop myself.
I still do that. Dude, before you shaved it, you should have taken one picture with an eye patch, though. Just so
I should have.
I know. Just the evil JL picture, so we had it in the bank. You might have to grow one back and do one pick.
It really did give off like the evil Bender vibes, like from Futurama, where it was just the same exact person, but it was a different
pulling
person.
up on the cheeks, so it was like looked way too goatee.
Actually, I'll just Photoshop one on there. I'll get that. I'll take care of that today.
We'll get you as a pirate, JL.
Thank you.
You got to grow it back out and then be a villainous pirate for the Renaissance Festival next year, and then come to Texas for the Renaissance Festival.
I've never gone to one before, but I'll travel across the country for one for sure.
Yes. Yeah, I dress up. I was a pirate last year.
You do pirate? So
I did a pirate.
What the Renaissance Festival? I thought you had to be a Renaissance guy.
It was Pirate Weekend. You can be anything.
Oh, Pirate Weekend. So I haven't been since I was a kid. What are the options? What's acceptable? Because you can't just show up as like if I showed up dressed as like a astronaut, then that wouldn't.
I just imagine medieval times, but outside.
No one would judge you. And there's a medieval element to it, but there's multiple routes for the Renaissance Festival you can go. There's the classic like medieval times style. Like you can be knights, you can be queens, you can be kings, you can be a lady.
And there's the haunted carnival.
There's the pirate route. You can be a pirate. There's the barbarian route. There's the Viking
route.
Yes, there's people that dress up as Vikings, and that's like their whole thing is to go out there as Vikings.
Is there Buccaneer
There's also
route?
like the pirate kind of covers that. I was a fancy pirate. I was more of a Buccaneer. I had a ruffled shirt.
What about
you can
a
also
buckaroo?
just go the
Is that the
full-on-
difference between a pirate and a Buccaneer? The ruffled shirt.
It's the ruffled shirt. That's
Get him with that like Seinfeld shirt.
It's a little flare,
Exactly.
yeah. It's the Seinfeld. Yeah.
That's what makes it a Buccaneer. You can also just go like the magical like fantasy route and be like a satyr or a fairy or a wizard or something like that. It's pretty open what you can dress up as.
We should go together, a joint costume, and we'll be a what's that called? A centaur.
Oh my god! All right, I know
We have
we're
to
just
take
talking
turns,
joke
though.
here, but now that you guys have said it, I really want us to go and film it and make a video out of us going to the Renaissance Fair.
And you're the butt and Coop's the head.
And we're just walking around a Renaissance Fair, like
off.
just causing mayhem as a horse.
Well, dude, if you just had like a fake horse behind, you could be a one-person centaur. What if we went and we were a centaur, a minotaur, and then
I'll be a satyr.
What's that?
I was thinking like
It's
Simon
the
could
ones
be a
just with goat
cowboy, and then
legs.
we would be in one of those like horse suits, the 2-person horse suits, which are real funny.
Dude.
You know what I'm
let's
talking
just-
about? And Simon
let's
would just be our cowboy.
Just be a horse. Like, I mean, don't tempt me with a good time. Would
No
you
matter
be?
what, Simon doesn't break the bit that we're an actual horse.
I'm just in the back of the horse drinking beers.
I'm feeding you guys sugar cubes and apples the entire time. Like I'm running around eating turkey legs and pierogies, and I go up to like the coffee
Carrots.
stand. I'm like, do you guys have any sugar
only
cubes? I
eating
guess a
sugar.
packet will be fine. I'm just like dumping sugar packets into your mouth.
My horse likes eating tomatoes, like full tomatoes.
Oh, my horse loves a juicy tomato.
What are some bad like the thing is, I think about it like my first thought is like, oh, I'll be a jester, but like there are gonna be so many jesters that it's too much competition, right? Like you have to go all out if you're gonna be a jester because you don't want to be the worst jester at the
Here's the thing.
fair.
I don't think there's any judgment. People are doing to the extent of their ability. And if you want to be a jester, you should be what you want to be the most. I see people running around dressed as Robin Hood. And then I see also people wearing full plate mail armor walking around.
Renaissance
a
Fair
free
sound
canvas.
far more chaotic than I expected.
Oh, it's it is so
I really
chaotic.
expected like a theme, a singular theme that they all bought into, but no, what you're describing sounds like Halloween.
The theme is not the present time is pretty much the theme.
Okay.
like the theme is like anything that's kind
It's
of
just
ancient.
cosplay, but yeah, different different time period.
You're just getting
Exactly.
So I imagine there's a lot of people that are just throwing elf ears on.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of elf ears at a Renaissance festival.
Is there anybody who shows up with like just a plain white t-shirt with like wizard written on it? Like the jokester?
I did not see that, but there are people that show up in like superhero outfits and they think they're being funny. Know what I mean? No one judges them, but they do it as the joke.
So you 100% just judged them just now when you said they think they're being funny. That's the most you can judge someone.
No, if they're more than welcome to be funny in their way.
Do you think they're being funny?
In their way.
No,
In their way.
no, I don't think it's funny.
Maria
Yeah.
asks, can I ask a real
I'm
question?
like-
How do those horse costumes work? I've always wondered.
They're pretty fun for one person and they're not super fun for the other.
Yeah.
That's
No
You ever
farting.
seen the
That's
movie?
That's how they work.
The Human Centipede.
Just like that.
It's fairly similar, but with less like surgical
Have
requirements.
you ever seen the
attached to
movie
it.
Seabiscuit?
I've seen the Human Sea Biscuitipede.
Oh, so now I'm seeing an awesome 2-person horse costume where the
do
person
it.
the person on the back is the rider. So it goes all the way up. Yeah. So that both people can actually see what's going on.
Oh,
Don't have to be
okay, I
bent
see.
over.
No,
That
I
seems
can
like
show that
you're
one.
just so let me get this straight. If I'm the booty here in this situation, Coop, I'm standing up straight in the back, and then you are bent over right in
No,
front of me.
No
We
one's
have to
bent
walk
over.
all around all day.
No one's
like this.
No one's bent over. In this version, so in many versions, it seems the bad person's bent over. In this version, no one is bent over. It seems like they figured it out. They've solved this.
I like the
two
idea
people with,
of
like, a
there just
tube.
being a really long-legged horse where like your bodies make up the legs entirely and the whole horse body's on top of you with just like a fake head and the head hole is like
We're
in the
fa-
torso. And
So we're,
I can't see
we're facing
anything.
each other. We're facing each other and like holding hands, and Jail's walking backwards.
Great job, buddy.
Yeah,
You
that
too.
sounds like a really smart costume.
Oh.
That'd be a good time.
Also, Nick and you're saying the Fairly Odd Parents episode where he goes back in time in the Renaissance Fair. Classic.
That's a good
I'm
one.
gonna have to go back
Good
and
job,
watch
dude.
that one today.
Yeah.
I think we were
So,
talking about Buccaneers and
These
Cowboys.
are
if I'm
our
not mistaken.
predictions. Yeah, those are our predictions.
Yeah,
for-
Martin in here asking, so Cowboys losing today, just wondering by how much.
Ooh, damn.
I'm with you, Martin, and I'm saying by three they're gonna lose. Is my answer. I'm not super confident the Bucs are gonna pull it out, but that's where I'm lying.
Martin got no fear, dude.
No fear.
The guy ain't scared of no Dak.
Is Ryan Jensen back? Is Ryan Jensen playing?
He's supposed to be. And Smith, right? So both teams are getting an offensive lineman back. Martin also said, "Guy in glasses can definitely pass for Peter Pants." Talking about Simon. I'm a real boy. Wait, that's Pinocchio.
Yeah, same thing. Would you rather be Pinocchio? Would you rather be Pinocchio or Peter Pan?
In real life or wear a costume?
Definitely Peter Pan.
Without a doubt, Peter Pan. I'm not even a wooden puppet.
Would you rather be a wooden puppet that is under the guardianship of a weird puppeteer? Or would you rather be a guy that lives forever and has magic?
He has a little bit of he has an adventure on his own. Have you seen the new Pinocchio? Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio?
No, but I've heard it was incredible.
I haven't seen
It's
it.
me,
yet either.
Geppetto.
It's me, Geppetto.
It's me, Pinocchio.
Yeah. All right, yeah, fine. Give me Peter Pan.
I'd be Peter Pan as well. You get magical powers.
Peter Pan's just kind of lame.
And Tommy said Simon can fly, can't find a shadow, and wears tights already. Yeah, all those things are true. Maybe I just am Peter Pan.
Stand up right now. I bet you're wearing green tights.
I will not confirm or deny.
I'm not wearing pants because that's the rules.
There are photos of me wearing green tights out there somewhere from a Halloween costume at one point. So I wear green tights.
See if you can find those photos. If you find them, send them to me.
Also, Martin said the new Pinocchio lives forever too. And Nick saying the new one was great. And Martin saying the new one is pretty savage, super trippy. So I'm going to have to check that out this week. I'm going to have to add that to the movie watching list.
I have no doubt. Just knowing Guillermo del Toro's work, good, bad, I couldn't have told you, but I could guarantee you that it was going to be weird.
The only movie I've seen by him is Pan's Labyrinth. I haven't seen any of his other movies. And if it's anything like Pan's Labyrinth, then this is going to be a weird Pinocchio movie.
Pan's Labyrinth is this guy, right? With
that guy, yeah, with the hand eyes.
Yeah.
I never watched what was the one that won all the awards with the monster?
The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water. Yeah, I never watched that one.
Very weird dude. Yeah, he's the dude that he's always said like when he was a kid he would dream of all these monsters. And now he gets to bring them all to life.
Mama was by him, and that is truly one of my favorite movies of all time. That is like my favorite horror movie is Mama.
Did you guys watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I did.
At friends' houses.
A little Easter egg. There's these characters called the McPoyles.
I know the McPoyles.
Pretty gross. They wear bathrobes and they drink a lot of milk and they have unibrows. In a couple episodes, their father appears. It's this guy wearing a hat with a little bird under the hat. That guy is played by Guillermo del Toro in that show. So for some reason, this Oscar-nominated and winning director takes time out of his busy schedule to be Pappy McPoyle on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Google pictures of his Pappy McPoyle episode. It is ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous.
I'm gonna look it up. And guys, we got some people in the chat loving that. Always Sunny is a goated show. Martin loving it as well. Yeah. And Martin saying he never knew that. And everybody in the chat, we're approaching the end of episode 100 right here. But I just wanted to thank everybody so much for coming out here and hanging out with us every single morning. Truly, this show wouldn't be possible without you guys being in here. We love hanging out with you. It brings our moods up and it makes the show way more fun. So thank you to you and congratulations to all of you guys on 100 shows as well, because you guys are just as much a part of this as we are. And everybody, that is approaching the end of our show. I want to remind everyone, have a great MLK Day. Remember what we're celebrating today. Keep that in your mind throughout the day instead of just sitting at home off of work. Remember why we're celebrating Martin Luther King Day today. And enjoy your wild card football tonight. We've got Cowboys and Buccaneers facing off. Coop and Jay, I think the Cowboys are going to take it. I'm sitting here thinking Tom Brady and the Bucs are going to take one more ride with the Buccaneers before that's done. That's going to be it for us today, though, guys. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, the beginning of the next 100. Until then, though, we are out of here. Enjoy Wildcard weekend. Adios, everybody.